Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Goldschmidt lines it off the glove. A pass with Tito. It trickles off the infield. He's going to beat the throw there. And they have Reyes caught between home and third. No tag. Ball gets away. Reyes scores. Yankees have a 1-0 lead on a wild play that ends at the plate. And now that's crushed left field. Seiya puts a charge in it. Out of here. And it's 3-0.
And it's 4-0 Brewers. And on the first pitch, Jackson Churio sends it deep. It is up out of here. Churio with a 2-run blast. 6-0 Milwaukee.
Final minute. First period as Reinhardt shoots in. Stetcher back for Edmonton. Pass out in front. Score! It is now 3-0 Florida. Up with the puck is Edmonton at home. Nurse shooting, scores! Darnell Nurse up high, and it's a 1-goal game. There's Draisaitl with another face-off win. Nurse fingers down. Nurse trying to center it in front of back. Scores! The game is tied.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
He scores!
Yeah. Can I, Shane,
No.
can I get a little more of my volume in my headset here? It
Why?
sounds like I'm talking in a can.
I always feel like somebody's talking to me.
Well, yeah,
and
from
my cans are pee. Oh,
7 to 10, yeah, usually. We're having a little conversation, you know.
Man, you?
Yeah, typically.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Uh-oh. Can I, so the hockey was good last night.
Hockey was fantastic.
Can I say
Got a pick right. That's good.
Can I say something that's – I'm not a hockey guy, so I want to tread carefully here.
Oh, Ravi.
The overtime winner felt like a soft goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of all that was going on?
Yes, for
Yeah.
like all the pressure that was like thwarted and turned away on both ends of it.
Yes.
I sat there and I go, that's the one that gets through?
Yeah. Sergey had been better. He's better than that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens. It's just a lot of pressure.
It is.
It is a ton of pressure.
I have another hockey hot take.
Does Edmonton have a new hero in net?
Well,
It's
so
not the first time he's had to do that, but man, did he keep him in it?
yeah, I mean, after he blew it.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, like
Yeah.
they were up 4-3 with 20 seconds left.
I don't know if I would say blowing it. Jeez.
I mean, okay, so that was my other hot take is I really don't trust Skinner.
Well, Picard, he got pulled.
That's yeah. So
I
like,
know you didn't like him going in, but
So like I'm sitting.
that was the only goal he gave up.
I know, but I'm sitting here and I go, okay. I just don't trust it. And I know Bobrovsky gave up the soft one late.
I can't see Edmonton being able to win like this.
Not two more. Like it's tough.
But Florida's been a little loose.
Yeah. They've given I mean, blowing a 3-0 lead's pretty rough.
I think
Not great.
I think playoff hockey's sensational.
And they blew it in a hurry.
You a big Draisaitl guy?
Yeah, it was fun to watch. I enjoyed it.
He's strong on the puck, isn't he? It's just
Yeah.
weird how some of these guys, you just can't get them off their spot.
Yeah.
You know, they can shield and skate in one hand. That's a beautiful thing, but it is intense.
It's like the opposite of a skinny basketball player when he's dribbling, right? They get like bumped a little bit and they're gone.
Yeah, I was.
Can
I for some reason yesterday I watched Space Jam again because it was on at like 3:30 or 4.
Old one or new one?
Old.
Okay.
I'm not watching.
Okay, the new one's very bad.
You think I'm watching anything prolonged with LaFraud?
Yeah, I mean, you watch Lakers games all the time.
Well, there's a lot of other things going on.
Yeah, you got your favorite Luka in there too. I thought maybe you were like just checking
Isn't this
out.
supposed to be a feel-good Friday?
I thought you were just checking out like Sierra Wright's Reel or something while you were.
Here's the thing. How did Sean Bradley get in that deal? The whole skinny basketball player thing made me think back to.
I think he's the one in the league that looked the most like an alien. So,
No, that might be Muggsy.
yeah, Muggsy is kind of goofy.
Hey,
looking.
did you see his? Do you remember his little pity pats when he got his?
Yeah,
when he
he's
got
like,
his game back?
Yeah.
Muggsy was nice.
Oh yeah, Muggsy had a nice handle.
His high school team was pretty sweet too.
Was it?
Yeah, I almost called you last night, but it was entirely too late because I had a hard time going to sleep initially.
Yeah.
And so I went down a Western. I just was kind of like, is it Clint Eastwood? Like I wanted to sit through some. So, Pale Rider was in the hunt. Hang 'em High was in the hunt. Unforgiven was too long. I'd seen it 1,000 times. It's like, I kind of wanted something a little older.
Mm-hmm.
I stumbled onto, this is embarrassing. I stumbled onto Young Guns.
Okay.
I've never seen Young Guns.
Okay.
So I looked at the info. I was like, Jack Palance, that guy sucks. Like, he always plays a creeper.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy? I'm not a huge Emilio. So I kind of just went through the cast. I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to watch it. Early in that movie, they uttered a line.
Uh-oh.
2 of them. And in my head, I go, regulators, mount up.
Mm-hmm.
The lines that Nate Dogg and Warren G use in Regulators was in Young Guns. You have to be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Do you know the line that I'm talking about?
Yeah, I did.
The whole opening to that song is in Young Guns.
No, I know. I'm stunned that this is when you learned that.
Okay.
I know. I really I thought that was just a comment. I thought that was a thing people knew.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be a jerk.
So the part where I said, "Hey, this is embarrassing."
Okay. Yeah.
Did you miss that?
I did.
And you're
actually.
just doubling
No,
down?
I actually did miss that. This is embarrassing.
Shane,
part.
did you hear me say this is embarrassing?
Oh, I have it marked.
Shane. The one time he's paying attention to the show.
Or at least I'm going to mark it now.
7:07.
Yep.
Incredible.
I did miss that. This is embarrassing, but I apologize.
Yeah, 51. I was this many days old.
Yeah.
I'm like, I rewound it.
There's a second movie too. As well.
Yeah, I'm not sitting through that. It was not good. I hated the ending.
So I don't even know that I've seen all of it.
Don't give me the whole read through of this happened to this person and they finally caught up with this nut job in New Mexico and they killed him.
So you don't like when you get the extra tidbits?
He's such and such changed his name and is living in a ranch in Cheyenne. I'm like, I went back and rewound it and said the lines at the same time.
You're like singing along?
Yeah, it's like 12:40. It's like go to bed, but I was captivated. It's like, how have I never? But I never got into like those commercial westerns. Like I've never seen. What's the one? I'll be your Huckberry, whatever.
Oh, Tombstone.
Like I've never seen that. I mean, I was either watching old westerns or like the ones after that.
So were you like a John Wayne guy? Like that old western? Or?
It's very complicated. We have a very complicated relationship.
You and Jonathan Wayne?
Yes. I liked John Wayne because my dad liked John Wayne.
Okay.
As I got older, I can't stand John Wayne. Okay. Not a good person.
Fair.
But maybe my dad just watched it because, and it's not like he ever sat me down and was like, no, son, we're riding with this guy. He didn't really say that.
Just like the movies?
He just watched a lot of the movies.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I am out on Jonathan Wayne.
Also, did we know, like at the time, was his kind of personality and stuff common knowledge?
I doubt it.
Because I feel like a lot of that stuff came out later.
Although generationally, it might have been accepted. I don't know.
True.
I'm out on the Duke.
Out on the Duke?
Yeah. Although he has one of the firsts of he has an original that I still think the remake is better. I think the other True Grit is better than his original True Grit.
Okay, yeah. The one with Jeff Bridges?
Yes. Good old Rooster Cogburn.
Big Rooster guy?
No. He was in the movie I watched yesterday, Space Jam. He said, I resemble that remark. There were some pretty good one-liners. How about Bill Murray just casually dropping about Larry Bird? No, he's pale.
No, Larry's not white. Larry's clear.
Yeah, clear.
I've seen Space Jam a million times.
Do you know I've missed that that's another thing that I
really
picked up yesterday.
That's one of my favorite lines.
I was like, wow.
Larry's not white, Larry's clear.
And it was his delivery that made it funny.
It's so matter of fact.
Yeah, I sat through Space Jam. It's weird. I was kind of pissed though, because in between the commercials, they kept playing like these. You don't know much about cartoons, but they were doing like these Loud House little mini song skits.
Oh, that seems annoying.
I'm like, why are they playing a mini cartoon on commercial break?
Was it on Cartoon Network?
Nickelodeon.
Close enough.
Yeah. I don't even know why I scrolled through it. It's never on Nickelodeon in our house. I was never a Nickelodeon guy. I
wasn't really either.
There was one show I think that Caleb might have watched on Nickelodeon. And it had the little, this is going to sound bad. They had the kids of the different persuasions that stayed with the butler, and the butler was bald. And the girl kind of watched him. She has red hair. I know the song. Oh, hey, Jess. It's Jessie. Google Jessie. And
Nickelodeon.
Do they have is there a little?
Oh, I was thinking it was a cartoon.
Is there a little Indian guy there?
Whoa.
A little kid? I'm sorry.
Well, it's always got to be about the Indian guys.
Well, you can say black and it's fine.
Man, they really made him stereotypical looking too. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, one of them watched that. That's the only time we put it on Nickelodeon.
That's a rough haircut, man.
I'm sorry.
I just need.
I'm sorry.
I need him to do better. I'm not this one right here at that. You've seen Indians with that haircut before.
It's kind of giving me some Brooke Behringer Jersey vibes.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. That's why I'm traumatized by it.
That's kind of giving me some Young Ray vibes.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's an inaccurate depiction of a young Indian and their haircut. I'm saying it's a tough look for us.
By the way,
sometimes our parents aren't as interested in our hairstyles as they should be. You gotta be invested.
That's tough. Lou Diamond Phillips was better young than he is old. Are we agreeing on that?
I gotta look. Okay, I know who that is. Yes.
You know who is Lou Diamond Phillips?
Yeah.
You didn't know?
I wouldn't have matched the face with the name. I know who that is, but I wouldn't have been able.
He didn't get a lot of mainstream movies to do after Young Guns.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't necessarily.
They might have typecast old Lou.
Are you a big La Bamba guy?
Richie Valens? No. But I did see that in the movie theater.
He was in that one too.
Do you know we voted on that as a team?
You voted on La Bamba?
One of the dumbest decisions ever. What year did that come out?
87?
No, that wasn't how I saw it. How did I see it?
Maybe they did a re-release because it's a classic.
Were we going to Cocoa Beach? I saw it with a team. Or was that Gladiators on the bus?
Oh, maybe.
Might have been.
Yeah.
I was with a team.
Yeah.
Because that's how I saw Top Gun too.
So that's another one where the sequel is better than the original. Maverick's better than Top Gun.
I wish I could speak on that because I haven't seen Maverick.
Oh,
but that would be saying something.
It's really good.
That's lofty now.
I like them both. I'm not a hater. Well, I like them both. I'm not a hater
exclusive.
About that specifically.
I was going to say you're 100%.
Yeah, I'm not blanket statement, not a hater, just about the movie specifically. I like both movies. Maverick's better. Maverick's a really good movie.
So I'm not really talking about the sequel as much as the remake.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what you said. You're right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think the remake of True Grit was better than the original.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
Shane, you in or out on that hot take?
I haven't seen the original, but I do like the remake.
Not surprised. Not surprised.
The remake is good.
Yeah, I'm still a little taken aback at the whole Young Guns thing. Not a great movie.
I'm not a big John Wayne guy.
Was it popular?
Young Guns?
Yeah.
I am not sure.
It was it was really popular.
88 is a little early for me.
Yeah.
Let me check it. I'm going to check box office for you.
Oh, I'm sure it was huge. It was pretty star-studded.
I mean, so I think at the time, 56 million is a good number. Now that's a huge flop, but against their budget, I think that's a good number.
Yeah. Shane, not surprised old Lou Diamond didn't take off.
Not surprised at all.
What about Emilio?
So I'm out on Emilio.
Not a big Emilio guy?
He was my least favorite character in The Breakfast Club too.
Why don't you like Emilio?
I don't know.
I'm a big Mighty Ducks guy, so that helped.
Mighty, that's kind of overrated. Is that a hot take? Mighty Ducks sucked.
So I think you have to be the right age when it came out.
Yeah, I saw it. Clearly, I'm not it.
Yeah, I think
That's fine. I mean, I
think Space Jam's the same way.
I thought Space Jam was fantastic.
Or I was gonna say Sandlot, but I think Sandlot's just good.
Sandlot's
just good.
Sandlot is extremely good.
I don't think you have to be
It does
certain age
not
for
make
that
my top 3 or 4 baseball movies though.
one.
Is that bad? Oh, good morning, Mr. Nelson. I was just talking about you yesterday.
It probably.
I have another former teammate that loves his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Although the way he described him is extremely inappropriate.
Oh, Mackay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm like, it's 2025. We cannot say that.
Well,
It's like, no, for real, DB, man. This dude. I'm like,
say whatever you want.
I'm like, I know. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna tell you that you can't say that.
Okay.
I got his point. That's the sad thing.
So you understood it?
Yeah. So Mackay is one of those people that at like practice is very demonstrative.
Mhm.
Like you kind of talk a little trash, make a few plays, let you know. Like he's just not having it.
Yeah.
Right. Like I told you, that's one of the things I like about
Yeah,
him.
I'd love
Like,
to see it.
like don't let the good looks fool you. This is how my former teammate referred to him. Can't say that. I get it. I get it. Do you know who said it? No, I can't tell because he'll be mad.
I'll guess later.
It's only one. It's only one.
No,
I was like,
Mr. Nelson, it's all good. We all love Mackay.
oh no, it was great.
That's what
he will definitely get it.
He goes, I pray it was good. I was like,
oh, it was.
We all love Mackay.
It's just it's a term when you want to say something good and use an adjective. That's probably not the one I would pick.
Not the one I'd go with, but
yeah, he does love him though.
No, it's honestly, we were talking about.
He dropped the new Wii backs on him. I was like, that's a little aggressive. I mean, D. Brown, that's who needs to be the Wii back. Like, I mean, Calvin and Derek went for about 2,400 a piece or total.
Good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. I don't know.
Lofty praise though, because he's one of those the former team I'm talking about is one of those people that he's kind of over the top with the glory days.
Okay.
Very much over the top.
Yeah.
Like he laments a little too much.
I will say Mackay is one of the reasons I think that 60 for the running back group is too low.
Oh, I hear you.
Like I like Emmett a lot.
But you have to. So here's the.
But
thing,
I also
though.
understand that nobody else knows.
Yeah, nobody else knows,
which is fine.
So that's okay.
But when I'm projecting a top 40 offense, top 40 defense, part of it's taking into the equation. It's like, oh, you're just wrong about the running backs.
Did you go back and listen to your deductive reasoning, or because you said it, you well aware?
I didn't go back and listen to it, but I'm pretty confident in how I described it.
It's not as myopic or stretchy as I was believing when you were framing
in real time.
Well, yeah, because I couldn't get past the fact you were framing your own argument.
Sure.
Right.
And typically I work in best case scenarios.
So I'm like, but it's not.
I don't think it's crazy. I really don't.
It's not a reach.
I think based on like how the units were ranked by Phil Steele, which again, I think the defensive line is low. I think the running backs are low. That's fine. Again, most people don't know about the defensive line the way we do. And I can just sit here and be right in 6 months and I'll be happy about it. It's fine. But I think getting them to, even with the rankings Phil Steele gave them, getting them to a top 40 offense, top 40 defense is not a stretch. And those numbers I gave you were real. Like it's 11.78 wins on average last year for
that kind of point differential.
Not for the point differential, just for top 40 defense, top 40 offense. For the point differential, because I think we didn't really get into that this time. I'd gotten into that before. But
so if the win total is that high, there's only a handful of teams that are there.
There's 18. 18 teams were there.
That seems high.
I counted them out. There were 18 teams that were top 40 in both.
And those 18 teams averaged 11 wins?
11.78. Now, that includes postseason.
Okay.
So some of them had like 14, which bumped it up a little bit.
So you're talking Ole Miss, Ohio State.
I'll bring it up. There was only 3 that didn't get double-digit
Is
wins.
Oregon top 40 both?
Yep. There were only 3 that didn't get double.
Georgia is not top 40 both because of offense.
So. Yeah.
Texas.
Texas was.
Penn State.
Penn State was. There's a couple randos in there. Like Navy's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the list. BYU.
Cool.
And some of these were like 38 and 38. So like they were lower on the list, right?
40's 40, babe.
But BYU, Navy, Georgia, Arizona State.
How many games did Navy win?
10.
Damn.
Navy was pretty good last year.
They were okay.
I mean, with their schedule, they were.
Yeah, I just have that bowl game in my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is terrible.
That didn't go well at all. Yeah. I said Penn State. James Madison.
How bad was Oklahoma?
Oklahoma does not make the list.
Do you know who I was watching that with?
Who?
That bowl game?
Was it Mosman?
Oh, I was in New York.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I thought maybe Oklahoma.
Coach Hogerson.
That makes sense. Oh, is that when you guys were hanging out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say that.
James Madison.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Mhm.
Oregon.
JMU, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were one of only 3 teams on this list that didn't crack 10 wins. There were 3 teams at 9.
Okay.
JMU, Alabama, and Tulane.
I'm telling you, 11-8 seems high, but the numbers are the numbers.
UNLV, Tennessee, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
How about calling our shot that UNLV season was going to land him a job?
Yeah. SMU, Boise State, Ole Miss, Indiana.
So for our exercise later,
Mhm.
I don't want to shoot my shot. Where are you on Lashley?
Pretty high.
Okay.
So I will say, as we kind of tee this up, we're going to talk to Tim Verghese at 8 and do our OC quarterback combos.
Did Josh Pate's list deter you?
No. Almost no one's list deters me.
It's weird.
I'm a man of deep conviction,
Yeah.
maybe.
Unflappable.
Some
Except
call
for
it
your-
just stubborn as hell. But
Except for your gums.
there were fewer combinations where I loved both the OC and quarterback than I thought there were.
I'm shocked. And I mean
Really?
that with all, yes. I landed on 12, and I'm thinking about sliding one in. You're like, hey, don't forget to send the list over to Rico. And immediately, I was just going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
But you, shake that stuff off. So it doesn't have the same effect. But I was like, no, I'm not ready. But he wasn't ready.
I mean, whenever you got the chance. That was the context of the.
Yeah, I
think I even said that whenever you get a chance.
I'm struggling a little bit.
So I got to about 8 and was like, I'm not in love with anybody
I got
else.
a good 12.5.
That's funny. That's kind of funny. I'm really interested because a couple of mine I think are out there. I think I took a leap on a couple.
I don't know if I'm going to bump him out of my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But put him in the top 10, but he's certainly in the 12 in the hook.
So
you want me to give you a Poriemplo?
Yeah.
What do I do with Miller, Moss, and Braum?
So I thought about them. I did. That was one. They were in contention for.
Because deep down, I like Miller Moss.
And I like Braum.
And I think
Braum's
his
really
running
bright.
back is sensational.
Yeah.
He's the truth.
I also think Miller Moss wasn't as bad as USC made it seem like last year. I thought he was better than Maeva.
Well, did you know that was it yesterday or the day before? Penn State and SC was on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the beginning of the end for
Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Miller Moss thing confused me last year. Because I thought
So that's the kind of things I'm thinking about.
No, and I get that, but that's part of the reason I had such a hard.
Because they're going to be really good offensively.
That's part of the reason I had such a hard time with this list, though, because I would get to a Miller Moss and Jeff Brom, okay, I really like Jeff Brom.
So did you start with the quarterbacks or the OCs? I started with the quarterbacks.
I started with the OCs,
and I even looked at conferences.
I did
because I can't remember who put that. Oh, T-Mac. He's like, hey man, basically stay away from the Big Ten if you want good offensive combos. So that's kind of how I skewed it.
I don't think that's true. So I also wasn't going purely on statistical output.
No, me neither.
Okay. I was like, okay, this is going to be a good offense. I don't know if they're going to put up 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns, but it's going to be a good offense, and they're going to play well on it and generally win a lot of games. So that I I get what he means. Like the Big Ten, you may not have the huge numbers. That doesn't mean you're not a very effective offense. So I took that into consideration as well. I'm
going to fire the list over. I may need to.
I did struggle a lot with
life.
Besides that, just with the list, with like the Miller Moss, Jeff Brom combos of the world, because I think there's a lot of quarterbacks that are better than Miller Moss. I don't know how many play callers I like that much better than Jeff Brom, though. But I have a hard time sitting here and going like, oh, that's one of the top 10 combos in the country.
I have 12, and I have to get rid of 2.
You can send all 12 over to Rico. I'll make you pick 2 real time, but you can send all 12 over to Rico so he has them ready.
Okay, that's fair.
I started with OCs.
Hmm.
I started with OCs that I like. And maybe that led me astray. I don't know. But that was sort of, and for my outlier on the list, you'll understand why I picked him, because I love that OC.
Man, hey Shane.
And I've talked about him more than I should.
Total squirrel. But Up was on yesterday.
Okay.
I didn't watch it. I know how it ends.
Yep.
But total squirrel. My teeth feel amazing. I just want you to know that.
What does that have to do with Up?
I just laid it out for you. Squirrel. Attention span. I'm telling him something that doesn't have to do with anything that we're talking about.
Gotcha.
Hey, I'm tripping.
Again, I don't know if it's Wrigley's, Hubba Bubba, Dentine.
Ice Baby.
You got to get rid of the gum.
So
I'm just saying.
So do I need?
You didn't hear me say that this is embarrassing.
I missed that part.
No, I just think you wanted to lay out and whack me.
No, I really didn't. But I didn't miss what you said on that one. I haven't seen Up, so I didn't understand what you were talking about.
Oh, it's a fantastic.
But that's
show.
one where the dog, like, you can hear his thoughts. He goes, squirrel.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I thought the teeth.
You might get your crying game right.
I've heard it's emotional. It's part of the reason I haven't watched it.
Yeah, big Ellie guy.
Yeah.
So do I need to effort the first True Grit movie?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. No.
Okay. My guy's on delay.
Hey.
I know. Damn.
Squirrel, right?
How are you going back to Bison delay?
I was just sitting over here. I was in my
pool.
I was in my thoughts.
I'm trying to tell you about how nice my teeth feel, and you're over here talking about something 25 minutes ago.
True Grit. I mean,
do I need to go back? I'm curious. I gotta know. Just humor me for a second. How did that stay in the Rolodex of all the things that we were talking about since then? I'm dead dog serious.
Well, because I was just sitting here going through the John Wayne list of movies, and I've noticed that I've only seen 2.
Did you hear me say anything about my teeth? And I get it. Nobody cares about my teeth.
Well, I mean, grit and teeth. I mean, that's kind of about the same. You kind of.
I hate to say this.
Grind your teeth a little bit.
You get it, don't you?
I do, because I told you last week you're the reason I don't have any molars, because I'm grinding them down, keeping my thoughts
grinding
to myself.
and grit are not the same.
But I
thing.
kind of get it.
Unless you're Memphis Grizzlies, you're the grit and grind Grizzlies.
But anyway,
exactly.
Everybody has that bathroom drawer.
Yeah.
I found real dental floss.
Okay.
And it clearly was from a dentist office visit, because it's probably only about, I don't know,
a little guy.
I don't know, 19 inches worth of dental floss. It's this little round circle thing, but I always use the picks. So I fell in love with myself for about 6 minutes yesterday, and I'm reaping the benefits this morning.
Yeah.
I want you to know that.
I'm happy for you that
you're not. It's fine, but I'm going to share.
No, I am happy.
Because according to social media, I have not had a great last handful of weeks with blurting things out. And it's primarily because of you and a little bit because of Shane.
What did I
do?
I'm
going to stay in my place of joy.
Which is like Teethville.
Not always just my teeth, but I mean, if I have something that I want to, encourage myself with, I may just blurt it out.
No, I appreciate that.
I don't think you do, but
do.
It's fine.
I think you assume the worst of me too much.
None of it is what you portray. I mean, I'm going out on a total reach.
You are. Like, I think it's really unprecedented and uncalled for.
Are you okay? All righty. Did you let Josh Pate's list scare you?
No.
I think it's nonsense, but
I also think it's nonsense. That's why I didn't let it scare me. I think all these people's lists are nonsense.
so the range.
Yeah.
And not Bruce Hornsby, Shane. I know that's where you're going with this.
I don't have it
Not
up
for like
here.
5 minutes.
I don't have it in front of me.
That's probably right. Listen to the mandolin rain.
Can you? Is it on Twitter? Can you send it to me?
There it is.
Okay, because I don't have it in front of me. 'Cause
Would
I
you
thought
like to take a look? See.
Yeah, I thought it was stupid.
Gee.
I mean, it's real dumb. It's really dumb.
Dude, do you need your teeth flossed?
No, I'm good.
Let's chill.
I'm good.
Gotta keep watering the bamboo.
I've got the little ones that look like kind of little forks where you just like.
Yeah, I've probably tried an irrational number.
Yeah.
I think I landed on the Tex. Are they Tex?
Yeah,
TAK?
yeah. It's like the little prongs. and
Although Scope tastes the best, but they're
they come in different tastes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. My wife just buys them and I use them.
Oh man, it's like shopping for marbled beef, man. You gotta take your time.
I had no idea that there was such a wide world of floss.
Oh yeah, the rubber texture, the ends, the tips. There's several.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah, man.
This is a whole new world for me.
Yeah. For real.
No, I'm like legitimately stunned. I had no idea.
For me, it's soothing.
I mean, it made sense. It makes sense. You know, you have different flavors of toothpaste. Might as well have different flavors of floss.
Yeah,
But...
and there's several bad flavors of toothpaste.
Oh yeah, there are. I can agree with that.
You're a paste or gel guy?
I am mostly a gel guy.
Yeah, team gel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Shane, do you know the difference?
Mm,
What color is your toothpaste if you even use any?
It's black.
Oh, do you use like a charcoal?
I use charcoal.
I'm in severe.
Didn't realize he was like a hippie.
He was gonna make a joke, but he gets a little uncomfortable. Do you see? He said black as if he was getting me. It's black. Ooh, burn. Think you're gonna make me uncomfortable?
Hey Shane. Hey Shane, what color is your hat? It's black.
It's black.
Yeah, he says it. Like he's needling me. I know clearly what I look like, numbnuts.
You don't look like his hat.
Hey, I'm tripping.
You don't. That thing's dirty.
Oh, that's where you were going. Nice save, Bobrovsky.
Well,
He's dirty.
Not at the end, man. It's a real soft one go through.
Yeah. So
that's a dumb list. Like that's objectively a dumb list.
my guy.
Because we go Drew Aller, good quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Drew Aller, good quarterback. Then we go Julian Sand, never played college football, number 2. Okay, cool. Dante Moore, part-time
played in a
starter,
year.
UCLA, hasn't played in a year. We have no idea what the F he is. Cool. DeMond Williams played half a season. Cool. Luke Altmaier, actually really good at 5.
Okay.
Dylan Raiola has a bigger sample size than every one of the young guys ahead of him, but I guess he doesn't get the projection benefit of the doubt. Cool. Jaden Maeva sucked.
I don't know about that. He was bad against us.
He wasn't good last year. Threw a lot of interceptable balls.
And he beat us.
Bryce Underwood, we have no idea what he is. What's the track record for true freshmen starting in power conferences? Not ideal. Fernando Mendoza, way too low.
He's actually been pretty
He's
good.
actually been productive at a power conference level before. Nico Yamaleva also has been productive at a Power 5 conference level before.
Just the depth of the conference.
No, it's the depth of his idiocy to be like, hey, there's these guys that have played nothing or barely at all.
It's interesting. I feel like
I don't understand it. It's so dumb.
it's a lot of pressure on Dante Moore. Dante Moore got a lot of love this offseason in our quarterback talks.
Yeah, not for me.
Oh, I know, but I'm just
I
think you may legitimately be in the minority.
No, I for sure am on most of these guys. And again, it's not that I am saying they won't be good or can't be good.
When Matt sent me this list, he said another potential rant for Ravi.
Well,
I didn't even say that part first, and here
didn't.
you go.
You didn't give me that context.
Just naturally. He said saying it too. I see what you did, Matty.
No, that's wild. That dude has never played college football.
He said another potential rant. Hey, see my list. I'm like, let me show this to Ravi. 3, 2, 1.
He's like pulling the pin. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why we're doing this.
You'll be fine.
I know, like, we're just saying, like, oh, like Ohio State has good quarterbacks, so Julian Sane is 2?
Yeah.
We literally saw Luke Altmaier last year tear people up. We saw it. That's the guy that almost made my list.
Really?
Almost.
Yeah, he did not make mine.
He didn't make mine either, but I considered it.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But again, because I leaned so heavy on OC, I was like, track record's not big enough for Lunny.
I may reslot my order.
Yeah.
And believe me, this is dumb to be doing this last minute because I've thought about this for 2 days.
Well, see, I don't think you're doing it last minute. You're still deciding.
Yeah.
Like you've thought about it. It's not like you're just sitting here like, oh, I got to make my list.
I was distracted. I would have sent the list off, but I knew I had another day to wait because couldn't do it without Tim.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I feel pretty good about that. Wow. I'm about to go ahead. I'm going to try not to take it out on Tim because it's totally not his fault. It may slip.
It's not my fault either. This is a concoction.
It's 100% your fault.
This is a concoction in your brain.
Yeah, I like how you low-key tried to make it seem like it was me.
What's 100%? This is a you problem.
Hey, we doing this? Okay, we're doing this. Number one, never answered the question. And it just gave you every opportunity to tell me I'm insecure.
I feel like you don't need to worry about the guests that we do stuff with. It's okay.
Why didn't we do it with Rico or Austin?
Or
Bruns.
Typically not. Rico and Austin typically aren't guests on the show.
They're pretty interactive.
They're welcome to be whenever they'd like.
Although AJ may be in somebody's bed this morning. Where do you think he is? What? It doesn't have to be bad. It could be his own or their own.
You think he slept in this morning?
Does not strike me as a sleep-in type.
I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure he's up.
But I'm sure he's human.
Up and working.
But he's just a pup, though.
Yeah. Got all that energy. He's even younger than Rico. You know that? Rico's older than he looks.
But I know how old Rico is. So
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, Rico's older than he looks.
So the same person that gave the adjective for Mackay.
Yeah.
Sings that little dude's praises.
Who? Rico?
Loves him.
Yeah.
He said, I told them that was the biggest mistake. I said, oh, that's cute. You actually care. No, I don't effing care. I'm just saying. All right, bud. It's going to give you a little too much credit.
Cody asks, where do we stand on Clark Lee and Diego Pavia? They didn't make my list.
So I know too much about Clark Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily bad.
Right.
It's that he's kind of a tinker toy, right? I had my obviously DJ was on that staff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know kind of how they think and what they thought and kind of the evolution of that philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they lucked into Pavia.
I agree.
So
that was kind of like,
I think
they found.
Although I do think Clark Lee's a good coach.
Sure.
He has his there's
I mean, you have to be to win
like
it.
Everybody else.
You have to be at all two.
But I did I'm like the man. I'm holding Pavia down. I just couldn't. Pavia's going to be a problem for some teams.
Oh, yeah. We saw it last year, right?
And their talent is upgraded significantly. Now, I'm not all in on Vandy, but I do think they have better talent than the free world knows. You have to probably be down there in the Nashville area.
Sure. The other problem with like Clark Lee's a defensive guy, so he wouldn't be it'd be it's Tim Beck, right?
No, Beck's about to get run out of. Isn't Beck at Coastal? He's at Coastal. He just offered one of my guys.
I think there's.
I'm pretty sure.
I think there's two Tim Becks.
Well, Tim Beck too?
No, it's Tim Buck too. That's
Wait.
Tim Biakabatuka.
Oh, Timashanga?
Yeah.
That's my dude.
I loved that guy. I don't know why.
Me too.
I loved that guy.
Me too. I'm sure he's, to this day, if he even remembers me, he's probably like, what a weirdo. Why is he following me around?
To this day.
That damn DB.
I was like, man, it's your accent. And the fact that you're so high cut, you look like you should be bow-legged. I want to put an arrow right between your legs. How are you fast?
Super fast, though.
That dude was all legs. They went up to like his throat.
I do think there's multiple Tim Becks. I think that's what I'm
There are
discovering.
2 Tim Becks.
I think there might be 3.
Well, the Tim Beck I'm talking about is at Coastal.
Yeah, the Tim Beck. There's a Tim Beck at Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And then I think there's also
That's the guy with the good hair
yes,
at Coastal.
Jenny with the good hair.
No, it's Becky.
Yeah, I was
You can't even get your stereotypical names right.
What's the stereotypical name? I mean, okay. Just correct me if I'm wrong here.
Here's the deal.
No, correct
Do
me
you think you're just going to walk me into these things?
No, I'm genuinely asking here because that's the hard part with my delivery sometimes is you can't tell what I'm actually wondering
Not
about
being
something.
a Richard Head.
Almost never.
Did I show you that dude that was wearing a T-shirt that said "Don't be a Richard"?
No.
Yeah.
You probably just bought me the T-shirt and it's going to show up at my house.
If I knew him, I'd ask him where he got it.
So is Becky's I think of a white when I think of Becky.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but Beyonce said Becky with the good hair.
Okay. But I was thinking okay. Never mind. I mean
Becky, Jenny,
Yeah.
Ann,
whites.
Stacy.
Stacy's mom allegedly had it going on.
What's another good one? Ann?
You said Ann already.
Oh,
Margaret?
no,
Older,
that's too.
older,
Yeah, that's
Just generational.
That's funny. Because I was thinking of something in the bathroom when I was getting ready. And you know whose name popped into my head?
Who?
Cavassier Smoke. And I'm like, only my people. Only my people.
Like Omaha Northwest people or who?
I might have smoked it too.
West Side Warriors?
Can't get me.
Cavassier Smoke. That's a hell of a name.
Yeah, he makes the all-name team. He's a good college football player, too.
I mean, he's no General Booty, but.
True. That's got to be the last of the booties, right? I mean, for a while.
I mean, I'm always praying it's not the last of the booties.
You talk to your wife about that. Should probably take a break. I have to get these over to my little friend.
Okay.
By the way, clearly Austin is not sleeping in.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
What's wrong with that dude? He might be one of those 9 o'clock go to bed guys. Take his vitamins and put them out by the bed. Just take a swag of water. He strikes me as that guy.
He does seem like a vitamin guy.
Hey, hon, did you? Well, I am too, but
He's got like the multi-pack. He just.
Hey, hon,
You got like the pill caddy at home, don't you?
it's in my car. Matter of fact, I need to go get one. While I'm at it.
We got Tim Verghese coming up at 8. We've got Mike Sautter at 9 and Matt Vrzal at 9:45. That's the show for today. We will be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live. I'm Ravi Lulla.
I'm Kenny Bell.
We're here from Hurrdat Sports. Don't worry, Metro Transit has you covered right here on the ballpark bus. Gonna run from right here down by the stadium, north of downtown, all the way up to Dodge Street, making a circle to drop you off wherever you need to go.
Oh, beautiful. So what's it cost?
It is free. It runs every 10 minutes, and it'll run almost all day until an hour after the last game. Or Kenny, if you're like me, you don't want to deal with driving downtown at all, Metro Transit has you covered there too. You can park out at West Roads for free and get a ride downtown through Orbit.
That's right. They added an extra Orbit stop at 10th and Capitol. Only $1.25. Fills up after the game. Quick, nice service right back out to West Roads.
$2.50 round trip, can't beat it.
And free parking? You kidding me?
Plan your trip or track your bus at myride.ometro.com.
Or download the MyRide OMA app.
What would you attribute to the quality of this group to get you to this point?
I think probably just team camaraderie. Like we love each other. We believe in one another, and I mean we're just out here having fun. Like there's no pressure at all. We're playing loose. We're just having fun. Like that's all it is.
When in the season did you realize that this team could make a run?
I think like about halfway through conference play, we looked at the standings. We're like, hey, we're kind of making a run up towards the first place. Then we had a couple big weekends at the end of the year. Ended up clinching that number 1 seed in the tournament. Swept the tournament, and we're like, all right, like we're pretty good. So once we got our draw and knew we were playing a familiar team in Ole Miss, I think we were all pretty confident that we could take them down.
At Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you, make sure you've got that seatbelt fastened. Traffic's going to get a little crazy the next week and a half or so. Make sure you are taking care of yourself and giving yourself a chance if you get in an accident. Make sure that seatbelt clicks. It prevents injuries and saves lives. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I mean, not that it took much, but this traffic and stuff.
You're over it?
No, it just has your boy staying at the house.
Yeah.
I was going to Zoe's game last night. I'm like, I'm not leaving unless it is absolutely necessary.
I mean, it is kind of your default state to want to chill at the house anyway.
Man, we had an episode last night. I'm still a little shook.
Yeah?
Man, yeah.
Zoe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This was during softball.
Uh-oh.
And now keep in mind.
She didn't, like, pull a Michigan guy and, like, try and snort the baseline or anything, did she?
No.
Okay.
So we're playing this game, and their coach is fairly intense.
Mm-hmm.
He has a really good player. He has a player. I went over to her parents the first time we played him, and I'm like, man, like this girl is really good. She played all over the place, and our parents were just there cheering her. Seemed like pretty cool people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of figured out. I'm like, hey, is that your daughter? She's like, yeah. I'm like, so I've watched this a long time. Like, she's way good. She's like, oh yeah, she's got a brother, plays at Buena Vista, and she's kind of grew up in a baseball household, and like this girl's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah.
So they hammered Ryder's team the first time, but it was like it's like 4-4, and the only reason I care is because the loser plays tonight at 8.
Okay.
K third or whatever the grade level is playing a Friday night game at 8:00.
7U.
Bro, I was mortified. But anyway, so it's like, 4. It's like 4-4. Now keep in mind, Zoe was probably 0 for her first 16. I mean, she needed an ironing board, right? I told you, got a couple lessons. Verz got into me. I mean, she's turned into like Buddy Wackett. No, I'm dead serious.
Okay.
Because she always had a good swing.
Yeah.
Always. Like, you could just tell she's good at it. So now she's like, I'm serious, like Buddy Wackett. So she starts the inning, she's on, next girl gets on, whatever, right? So you can tell it's getting intense. So they used to go station to station, but you can't take more than 2 bases at a time. But because they want to score, sportsmanship kind of got out of the window. Like if you're bobbling that thing in the infield, they're like turning and burning and making you make a good throw at the plate, right? And you could just tell how it kind of picked up. The station to station thing was cute.
Yeah.
But now it's like, man, you take 2, get 2. They're like, go home, right? So anyway, she scores, and we think like, oh, take the lead. It's 5-4. There's like this commotion, and she's back in the dugout, and the parents are like yelling, she didn't touch home. So their coach was like, give her the ball, tag her. So Zoe, in a panic, like tries to go back out and touch home plate. They call her out, whatever. Zoe's fine. Like she's just, I'm changing her shoes in the car last night. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Like you just play with such joy. I don't know if she knows what's going on or not, right? She goes, I said, did you touch home plate? And she's like, yeah, I touched it. And I said, oh, okay. I said, I believe you. And didn't think much of it. But anyway, so back up. So they're like mad. So they tag her out. That's like 2 outs. They end up only getting one more run.
Mhm.
So on the last out of our inning, there was a play at the plate.
Mhm.
This is little kids.
Yeah, they're like 6 years old.
No, they're old. Zoe's by far the youngest.
Oh, okay.
Well, not by far. She's got a little partner in crime. This little itty bitty cutie pie, Layla. There's a couple youngins.
Okay.
But there's some significantly older, like second grade
Okay.
or third grade. And so she tags her barehanded.
Mm-hmm.
Barehanded or hand? Handed.
Barehanded.
She tags her with her bare hand.
There you go. Nailed it.
I wasn't gonna give in. And she drops the ball. The ump went, and he's a young dude. He's probably 15.
I was gonna say at that age
he goes out to safe.
Yeah.
Coach not happy.
Well, sure.
And I try not to judge people by how they look. I'm sure he's a very nice man, but he kind of has the Raleigh fingers, twirled stash. He had the glasses, and they're intense. It's a well coached team, so I don't knock the hustle.
Yeah.
And the parents are, like, hey, you got to complete the tag, and we have a couple parents like that, like super duper no rules.
Mhm.
I was impressed, so I'm listening. So I walk over and I'm like, hey, I asked for permission. I'm like, do you want me to stay out of this, or can I say anything?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's don't say a word. So I didn't say anything. I just watched, which is fine. Because I feel a little pressure being one of the few minorities, and I don't want to contribute to whatever the stereotypes are. And I got in the car and I'm like, I'm pissed at myself that I let that
impact your decision,
impact my decision making, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
But short story long, I didn't say anything. So my man comes out, and one of the dads I really like, his girls are pretty good, and his wife helps coach. And he said something, and he's a quiet dude.
Mm-hmm.
And the coach goes, hey, I want to hear from you. Parents, you be quiet. This is between the coaches. And the parents said, well, I'm not going to not be quiet. And the dude goes, I'll kick you out of here. This is our field. I'm like, these are kids.
Yeah.
So they meet at home plate forever. Seemed like forever. It turns out young lady's safe. Bottom half of their inning, I mean, they're going like 3, 4, 5 in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
The really good one, 7. I mean, touches grass on the fly with the ball, right? I mean, it's like, boom. She's automatically standing on second. There is no station to station. Next hit's like, bow, station. So the girl scores, and it's tied. And so Mike is distraught.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to park across the street because it was packed. And he's like, man, I'm walking in the car. And like, full disclosure, one of the reasons why I never said anything was because I walked to the car too. I was like, once they got the runner on second, and I saw like 3, 4, 5 in the lineup.
That's a wrap.
Yep. So they ended up winning, and like, I was traumatized the whole night about how that whole thing went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's the first thing I thought of? Sportsmanship and gender.
Yeah.
Which I've been on for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I told you about my buddy who was watching state baseball, and they wanted to chant, or they did the tomahawk chop, and the ump said out loud, "This isn't softball."
Yeah, that's wild. I don't understand that at all.
I
don't understand that at all.
But that's how we're headed. And softball, I joke all the time. It's intense.
It is intense, and there is like their own culture.
But I kind of went to bed with the ick.
There is their own culture within softball too. Like it's a whole different deal. So were you?
Rico just said, "Still don't got it." Hey man, I'm talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he texted me. He goes, "Yeah," he said, "Suave, I got you," and then he didn't send me anything.
At least he said it right. I'm glad he didn't say like the lotion, because it's not suave. It's suave.
I mean, he's Puerto Rican. I feel like he knows how to spell it.
I'm not a Puerto Rican, but I'm speaking so that you know. And understand I got the gift to speak. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but
no, I do think So do you think you were more upset that you didn't say anything because of the
I just wanted
gender
to.
types, or because
yes,
of or are you more mad at yourself because you didn't say anything because of the minority thing?
Both. They simultaneously.
Yeah.
It was like cultural perception defined my actions.
Yeah.
And I was
That's a real thing, though.
Oh, I was pissed.
Like,
I was pissed.
I don't know. There's a lot of places.
I said, you know what? I'm going to put the rest of these bacon-flavored sunflower seeds in my mouth and STFU.
How are the bacon ones? They're pretty good.
Man, Micah knocked most of them off.
Yeah.
Mr. I'm not hungry.
Well, it's just seeds. There's always room for seeds.
We went to the gas station together.
Yeah.
I was nice enough. He's like, Dad, I got to use the restroom. I was like, dang, man, this park is hard to park. He's like, man, I said, use a tree. I said, use the pool. No, man, because it's a clubhouse, and you know it's little kids, man. All right, man, fine. We'll go around the corner. So we went to the little convenience store. I gave him every opportunity to pick out seats. But he's too cool for school. One word answer. Nah. He made fun of Zoe for wanting Taco Supreme.
Yeah.
No, he's Taco Supreme. It's 95 degrees out. You're going to be drinking water like, I'm like, man, let this girl do her. That's how it goes down in my family, man. Don't have kids.
Don't worry about it.
Shout out, Rico. You're already in trouble.
Number 3's on the way. Congrats.
Man, karate them things. I'm sending it over. So, yeah, it bugged me.
Yeah.
But, I hope he doesn't think he was – like, I hope he, like, reflects a little bit because that was foul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was just the way that he was talking to the parents.
Yeah.
Like, you're not de-escalating. You are escalating.
So I will say, I do think it's really hard when your umpires are teenagers.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy to get bullied too.
Mm-hmm. And he got bullied. So
there's like this weird fine line of like overreaching and, you know,
he was a good kid. Like
feeling like you're on an ego trip.
He
versus
actually
not getting bullied by parents. Like that's, I think, a tough line to walk.
You know, he tried to look the part. Like,
yeah.
And you know me, like, because just have watched this for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I want that guy to still do this in 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't want him to stop doing it in 15 minutes.
Because he had a bad experience coaching umping third grade softball.
And then he was like talking in the dugout, and he was supposed to be pitching because players can only pitch for so many innings in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of the delay because he was carrying on. I'm like, man, I can't even believe I'm going to walk away from this. Like I've gotten involved for over much less.
Yeah.
Put it to you that way.
Yeah.
But I try to be self-aware.
Well,
but how about your boy not saying anything?
Though? I'm impressed.
Well, I had some help.
A little help from your friends?
Yep. I might lose my mind. Don't. Sure, you don't like me, so I didn't want to say anything. I was like, eh.
Well, all right. I guess I'm not going to say anything.
Hey, you know, there's other moms over there. Dads are kind of quiet. I was like, I ain't going to be that guy.
Speaking of a little help from our friends, since we'll have a little help from Tim Verghese, we can finally get to our OC segment coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Avery Howard here with Ben Bybee, pitcher for Arkansas. I feel bad we had to pull you away from all your fans over here, but I know you guys are just used to that and the Arkansas faithful. Can we talk about this fan base you guys have? They're already showing up on your media day, your practice day. Just how much support do they give you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's every game. I mean, even practice day out here, we got kids, lining the stadium, and it's not like they just know our number, like they know our names. Like these kids are invested, like they come to games, they support, and even like on the send-off yesterday back in Fayetteville, it's like 11 a.m. on a Wednesday. We probably got 400 fans outside the stadium for us, so it's awesome. I mean, these fans are the best in the country.
at JUCO. Now you're on the field at Omaha. How much of a dream come true is this?
I mean, that's the best way to put it. It's a dream come true. You play on backfields in JUCO in front of 10, 15 people, and now you're playing in front of, 20,000. So it's pretty cool.
This Louisville team has a chip on their shoulder. Didn't make the postseason the past 2 seasons. You guys get back to this point. How much has that motivated this team?
I mean, that was a goal from the get-go. We knew we'd been disrespected as a program, and the past few years, people haven't put the respect on the names that we deserve. So, going in, the goal was to get to Omaha and win a national championship, and we're here to do that.
Well, this is your first year with the team, and I know on your visit you committed right on the spot. Yeah. You saw a video montage of Omaha and just the championships and the legacy of Louisville. When you think back to that moment, how proud does that make you that you decided to join the Cardinals?
It's awesome. That was the goal. That was the goal when I committed on the spot. I was like, man, I want to help get this program back here and look where we're at.
Well, what is so special about this Louisville team?
The players. I think the locker room is incredibly special. It's different than any team I've ever played on. I love all my past teams, but this team, we just have a different mojo about us. Playing with these guys and trying to just play for an extra day with these guys has been the best part of it.
At Centros Federal Credit Union, we have the tools and resources to help our members fulfill their financial goals, with a focus on building a stronger community for the next generation of leaders. Centros Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Hurrdat Sports is pleased to bring you the NEB Prep 77th State Championship this year, hosted by Bellevue West, June 16th and 17th of 2025. June 16th, the first day, will be pool play. 18 teams from across the state battling it out for this trophy. On June 17th will be the championship game at 3 p.m. Bracket play will begin at 10 a.m. on June 17th. We'll see you there.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centros Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Tim Verghese from inside Nebraska. Tim, what's going on, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
TV, what's up, buddy? How we doing?
Hey, not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah, I'm quietly between me and Ravi and now you, because I'm saying it out loud. I'm pretty mad that Ravi thinks we can't have any sort of a good show unless you're part of it. So I wanted to do this exercise on our own, but of course he wouldn't let me do it by myself. He had to wait for you, TV. So I'm like, here we are. I was offended all week.
It's true. He was very in his feels about it and being sensitive.
I'm like, can't we do this without Tim? No, we can't.
I said absolutely not. We can't even manage it.
I trust y'all. Y'all don't need me.
Yeah, see, that's how I feel.
I disagree. He's been like this all week, Tim. So I just decided to lean into it.
It was such a fantastic idea, man, and I thought,
the only person that can execute this with us, Tim.
You gotta wait for
the only guy we do it.
I can't talk to because I literally just turned my revised list in to the guys to get it up on screen. So that was at 7.
Yeah, I do feel good about this coming off the hand. Like I was like, there's like 2 or 3 I really want to put in here. And
I gave him 11 and I cut 1.
Honestly, I thought it was harder to get to 10 than I thought it was to get it down to 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Tim, did you get to an easy 10?
Yeah. I mean, 10 wasn't hard to get to. It was after that where I was like, who do I cut? Like again, and it's kind of taking the pros and the cons of both sides. Where it's like, okay, this is a highly established play caller, but maybe a young quarterback, or vice versa, where it's like, oh, this is a brand new quarterback, but or like a unproven play caller. But I'm a big fan of the quarterback, and I think ultimately the pairing's going to work out. So that's where my challenge arose.
All right, let me start with Timbits first because that's one of my favorite parts. Because we do have to touch on a little bit of recruiting with Nebraska coming off the huge 7-on-7 event. And so let's start right there, and I'll get to guys like Sorensen in a second. But I've been asking our guys, degree of difficulty. When you watch this thing from start to finish, you saw how well ran it was, the players' feedback, them doubling down with the camp, making sure that you met all the parameters from what you could and couldn't do. You got to be good rule followers. What was the degree of difficulty you gave Nebraska as a score for pulling this off last weekend?
Ooh, man, when you consider how this came to, and again, peek behind the curtain a little bit. Again, I'm a little more involved on the 7-on-7 scene than other media folks around here. So I offered a little, insight and as much as I could in the setup for this. I mean, they like the final list of teams didn't really get put together till couple hours before the tournament. I'm talking within 72 hours of the tournament, the final list of here's who's going to be there. And then you factor in, okay, a lot of these 7-on-7 teams, when they go to these national tournaments where there's the battle or OT7 or, an Adidas independent event, usually the sponsors cover that. Because of NCAA regulations, Nebraska couldn't do that. So they had to get all these guys to fly in on their own dime. And then you factor in the fact that, okay, on top of all of this, you have to cross a line. Okay, how many of these teams are going to have a team that's able to compete because a lot of their seniors aren't OVs? And we have a bunch of 27 and 28 prospects coming in for this Huddle Future Forum. How many of these guys would be interested in playing? And that's how you got Duvet Williams on NPA. That's how you got Trey Taylor and Ahmad Hudson on Miami Raw. And so some of those guys were able to play. And then the Huddle Future Forums thing, we were talking to people higher ups at Huddle, early in the week that were yeah, we don't have the full list just yet. And then Wednesday they sent us the full list and we're able to, it came together. But even that one came together late. So all of this was they're working up literally up until the event started to put this thing together. Really, really impressive stuff. And again, I said coming out of the weekend, again, there were 7-on-7 coaches on Friday that were showing me their phone with texts from other head coaches being what did Nebraska give y'all? And or how did Nebraska pull this off?
And they're so over the top too. I'm glad they at least you're cool with them too, because I watched some of those guys, man, and I was losing my mind.
Yeah, and okay, I'll give you a quick example too, just for example of how seriously and how scorned school took this. I had a 7-on-7 coach show me or ask me basically what was Nebraska's presentation to y'all when you got there, and he just took a picture of essentially the scene when they arrived.
Yeah,
and he was like, well, here's ours. For whatever reason, they got this thing confused with OVs, and they're basically showing them what a weekend of an OV at another school looks like. This wasn't an OV weekend. All these schools and these teams paid to be at Nebraska to be there.
Tim, so as we get into some of the specifics of the guys that were there, obviously Nebraska gets the offensive line commit from Rex. There's some Sorensens out there as a tight end people are talking about. There's some edge recruits as well. What do you think in terms of not just the overall impact, because DB and I have talked a lot about that, but in terms of more tangible impact from this weekend, do we think we're going to see some of those dominoes fall?
Yeah, dominoes are going to fall pretty quick. I mean, you saw Hayden Ainsworth he's going to announce on Monday that, read between the lines there. Feels pretty good about Nebraska coming off that weekend. Luke Sorensen canceled his Penn State OV, still locked in for June 20th as his commitment date. There's some momentum around Cameron Wilson. He is taking his visits. He's supposed to be at Syracuse this weekend. So we'll see how that goes. But Nebraska does feel good in that one. And yeah, it's just kind of building momentum and getting those guys around each other. A big opportunity for them is the line, which is a concern in this recruiting cycle. And now you're at a point where you may get out of this summer with 4 offensive line commits, and then you're pretty set, potentially 3-4 offensive line commits where it's okay, now we can just kind of go big game hunt if we want another tackle, if we want another lineman. And yeah, I mean, again, at this point, the real concern is I mean, defensive line recruiting, like, and wide receiver recruiting, just because both those boards are pretty small right now. But I'm not worried about wide receiver recruiting, just because no matter what happens this summer, I do think Nebraska early season is going to be able to show enough on field that you're going to get some top wide receivers in the country interested in what Nebraska is doing. So I'm not worried about wide receiver recruiting. D-line recruitment is a different thing. It's just kind of Terry Braid's getting his feet under him, they're just kind of figuring some things out. So right now it's expected Valenzone's going to be in town for Friday Night Lights with the PPI crew. He's currently expected to stick around for an OV this weekend, but we're still waiting official confirmation on that. I still am not like super high on Nebraska's chances in getting over the top there, but they could get it done. Like that's really where we're at right now. Where I think Nebraska needed that weekend just to also kind of put the fan base at ease of like, hey, let's guys spend like an all expenses paid weekend on campus here. It's hard to say no to the program.
Interesting with Sohn, and I get it. I mean, Blue Ridge, that's a pretty rich talent area. How important do you think these first this particular visit will be in the grand scheme of things?
If he stays the weekend and it's a true OV, really important. Just because Nebraska hasn't really had the opportunity to like roll out the red carpet for him. But they've made him feel like a priority, and so far, I mean, of the schools in this, they've gone above and beyond in showing him interest with Braden, going across the pond to go visit his mom, and you've got, like while he was doing that, EJ Bartell was in Blue Ridge to meet with Val. Like they've gone above and beyond to make him feel like a priority, but. Like George is all in. Like I talked to a source close to Georgia yesterday that said George is all in on this kid. They want him, which again tells you a little bit about the type of talent he is. An international prospect, 4-star defensive lineman that's 6'5", 320 pounds, and George is all over him. Florida's all over him. Ohio State offered yesterday. They're going to be all over him moving forward. Texas wants him real bad. Like the who's who of college football, the schools that like major in trench play want him.
All right, listen, humor me or tell me I'm all wet. I saw this work with Sanders Jr. Sometimes you get athletes that have different sorts of backgrounds, and you have to really get into how the family ticks. How about the fact, or is it a fact, or could it be something where, because of Sohn's background and being from Sweden and cultural and things that he's used to and things that he's not used to, that it may not so be much about the flash and dash, but more the connectivity of what he's accustomed to being where he's from originally?
There's an element of that, but on the other side of it, I do think the way this recruitment's being handled, especially over the last 6 months or so, it's going to be kind of it's an NIL recruitment. It's turning into that.
Tim, is there anybody that we haven't talked about that you're just like you got the antennas up a little bit? I know you mentioned Cam Wilson. That's the one that I was taking a look at. You mentioned some of the guys with Ainsworth with commitment dates. Is there anybody that caught your eye that maybe Nebraska offered or has a Nebraska offer that we're not really talking about that you're still thinking about from the weekend?
Yeah, I mean,
how much attention are you paying to CJ and whether he goes to Florida State or not?
He's at Florida State, so he made it.
Not Florida State, Penn State.
Penn State, yeah, that's another one I'm going to keep an eye on. Yeah, like it's something I'm monitoring through the week. I mean, people like on Nebraska's end and on Brono's end too, like continue to be confident that Nebraska is going to be the one to land him. And I'm still like on both sides of it. I'm like, okay, it's still June. Like he's still 6 months away from signing any papers. Like let's not throw a victory parade just yet, because again, you're going to see schools potentially circle back in the fall. But if Nebraska can get to that point by the end of this month or even, next week, where they can get him to publicly announce that he's shut down, even if schools do try to, circle back down the line, that's a big win. Do you
know how bad I wanted to pick Caleb's brain? I mean, it's right there in my own backyard. I just saw the guy 30 minutes before he had to leave to take him out, and I didn't ask him one question. I
was talking to someone recently just about like from a state of recruiting standpoint about Nebraska in 2026. Again, we made a lot about this class, about what this could be. If Nebraska ends up with Brono and then they're able to close with 2 of the 3 of Darian Jones, Devin Jackson, Danny Odom, or 3 of the 3. That's sneaky one of the best DB classes in the country.
You know what's funny is I was watching our own film because we had 7-on-7 Wednesday against North, and I could tell by one of my kiddos' responses when I got back of how'd it go. Because I usually try to get to those, especially if they're at 10. You know, I get out of here early, but they wanted to go at 9. And the look that he gave me on how it went against North, I didn't even need to ask the follow-up question, but I did. I go, Darian just had a day. And he looked at me and he said, oh, yeah, he's tough.
Yeah.
And so, so we're obviously watching the film as a staff, and I get it. It's just 7-on-7 in the summer. There's a couple of things I think about him that we are totally downplaying because I'm kind of over the comparison between him and Pittman. Not only are they two different grades, but it's not going to be one or the other for Nebraska. So I'm not really entertaining that discussion. But I will say this about Darian. He's the only guy that I can remember in the last year of game planning that you have to know where he is on offense, defense, and special teams when you're putting a game plan together. Like for me and what I do at this level, it's kind of rare where you fit him into your game plan and knowing where number 11 is.
Yeah, absolutely. I was there on Wednesday. Really liked getting to watch him a little bit, and like he's obviously extremely talented defensively, but the stuff he's able to do offensively and his ability to
How
get
about how
open.
he goes to go get a ball?
Yeah, like it's really impressive, man. Like he's just a ball player, like pure ball player. But on the flip side, like I really like what I saw from Braylon, and I'm very interested to see what Bryson Williams at receiver looks like this year.
Yeah, and that was interesting too because he didn't have Eli, he didn't have Mo Purify. Like that off, they're still a little young in some spots. But for Braylon, he throws about as good a natural ball as you're going to see anybody at that age. Like it comes out of his hand pretty pure.
Pretty pure, and his placement of it, his accuracy. I was talking to Steve on the sideline, and I was like, man, has he always been like, I feel like the accuracy's been taken up a notch. And Steve was just like, that's kind of who he's always been. And kind of just didn't obviously always get that opportunity last year to like really air it out. But they've got, y'all have the weapons now or had the weapons. And I'm very excited to see what that looks like. Cause yeah, his ability to place it, like there were a couple throws downfield to Mo and to Bryson where I was like, he's just putting it where those two guys can get it. And it's not like, again, it's not like there's like, just nobody out there in the secondary. I mean, it's Darian Jones back there. It's good DBs back there.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, you ready to get to this OC quarterback combo?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm thinking we start at the top because I think there'll be fewer discrepancies in our top handful of people. Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right, Tim, who was your number one QB OC combo?
I think I ended up going number one with Sark Manning.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay.
As we're not doing the one-by-one reveal, Rico's got them up at the same time. So Ravi and I both know nobody has the same number one.
We all have the same number. Or no, Tim and I have the same two, which is your one.
My one was Klubnik and Garrett Riley. So why Arch and Sark, TV? Because I went with Arch and Sark at number 2.
I've got him.
Yeah. The edge for me is just Sark as a play caller versus Riley as a play caller, and then comparing just ceilings of Arch and Klubnik, where I both think they're both going to be very productive this year. And I do think Arch has a slightly higher ceiling in terms of what he can accomplish within that offense.
Okay, right away.
Mm-hmm.
Right away. Neither Tim nor I have one guy that's in the top 5 on your list, and neither one of us put him in the top 10. Is that surprising?
Is it Levitt?
Was there an omission, or you're just not all in on Levitt and the combination of Dillingham? Because I didn't put them in the top 10 either.
It's just I'm right there. Like I'm a Levitt guy. I'm a Dillingham guy. Like and like they were the ones. It was them, and we'll get to him too because I see him on Ravi's list. But Jennings and Lashley were the other one for me where I was like, those are right off the list essentially. My hesitation there is just kind of the I need to see it all season from Levitt, and I don't know. I'm not all the way there just yet on that duo.
Should I feel bad that I don't have Nussmeier or Levitt on my list?
No, I mean, I don't mind not having Nussmeier on there, honestly. Like, as like just because like I think him alone, when we're just talking QB, should be there, but the combination of him and the LSU play calling staff is like, I mean, like if Denbrock was still there, which I've got Denbrock on mine, but like if Denbrock was still there, I think yeah, but he's not.
So Nussmeier is one I struggled with because of Joe Sloan, right? I think Joe Sloan's good. He doesn't have the track record that a lot of these guys do, and I went really heavy on offensive coordinators and play callers that I liked. What I will say, though, is because I do think Nussmeier is really good and is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country this year, I gave Sloan a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt because I thought it evened out on that side. That's probably the one that's most quarterback heavy for me, though.
All right, let's go. We'll go round robin and we'll go through the explanation. Let's go with 2 because we kind of veered. We'll try to have some controlled chaos. We'll start with UTV and Klubnik and Riley at 2.
Yeah, and this one was tough for me. Like I think this one, like even the top 3 right now, I think they're pretty interchangeable. For me, the elevation was just again like QB duo was you're going to see Klubnik and Riley air it out a little more, and I think when it comes to it, we've seen Riley and Klubnik step up in the clutch and in these late game type situations in a way we haven't really seen Aller, in a way we really haven't seen Kotelnicki at least at Penn State so far. So that's what gave me the edge, was just like, okay, we've seen it at the high level of these guys can win games late and can win late game type situations, can elevate an offense. I do think Aller can absolutely do that. I do think Kotelnicki can do that. I do think late last year we saw, the play calling and the QB himself kind of take a slight step back at the fall.
All right, with 2, I went with Manning and Sark. Obviously, Sark, the pedigree. I think Manning is super talented, and I think Sark's a good play caller.
Oh yeah, I think Sark's an incredible play caller.
And so, with Manning and his talent, I didn't feel like I'm clearly not reaching because he's in everybody's top 4. But I thought safe. I'll take Manning and Sark at 2.
Yeah, so the reason I bumped them down is, as you'll see, my top 3 guys were all proven production from quarterback spot, in addition to play callers I really like. The reason I went with Kotelnicki and Aller at 1 over Klubnik and Riley, which those were the 2 I was talking about were my battle for 1 yesterday, is I was really impressed that Penn State was able to have a functional offense without a single wide receiver that could get open.
All right, let's go to 3. Start with go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, like again, it's just kind of touched on it already, but yeah, like again, really high on Kotelnicki as a play caller. I was a huge fan of what he did at Kansas. Really liked what, like, as the year progressed, weirdly, I like what Kotelnicki does as a run game guy more than I like him as a pass game guy, weirdly. So it's interesting for this, but like I do like his general creativity, and I do think when we're projecting for 25, I do think another full offseason together with Aller, with some improved weapons like Ravi mentioned a little bit. Like I do like them to eventually kind of be one of the top combinations this year.
I have Aller at 3 as well, so I won't double down. Our top 3s are the same TV, just in different
order. Yeah.
Your number 3?
Yeah, Kenny Dillingham and Sam Levitt. So this is one where I'm a big Kenny Dillingham guy. So that does a lot of the heavy lifting for me here. Obviously, and Levitt's obviously hugely productive last year and had a really good season. For me, those top 3 I thought were pretty easy for me because it was the best combination of proven production at quarterback that's returning and a play caller that I really like and respect. So I really didn't even have too much trouble with those top 3. And Dillingham, to me, like, I love Dillingham. I thought he's been really good. He spent some time at Florida State, so I paid a lot of attention to him there, and then obviously Oregon before he went to Arizona State. I think he's really, really good at what he does, and Levitt obviously has the returning production. So that's why, for me, he got the nod over like an Arch Manning, because you just don't have the track record of production with Arch Manning that you do with those other guys, even though I think Sark is as good of a play caller as anybody.
Number 4 here, TV.
Yeah, and I kind of boosted this one up, like this one's 4 just off of like where I was listing them, but this one's just kind of really boosted just off of Ryan Day and what that offense can be. And That like what it'll look like. Less of the quarterback, more so on the play caller, who he is, the offense he's going to be running, the weapons he's got. Yeah, again, cheating a little bit probably if you're just talking about pure QB-OC duos, probably should be much further down the list. But in terms of general production and what that offense is going to do, I just had him at 4.
Yeah, I struggled with this one. I almost put him, this combination, a smidge lower, but not much. I think Aaron Roderick is really, really good, especially where he's taken BYU's offense when he got there.
And you really like Retzlaff too.
He just that he can control.
Yeah.
So, and that's part of it, right? Retzlaff comes with his own sets of, kind of tough to coach. He really calmed Zach Wilson down, which I think scored huge points for me because
apparently harder to do than we gave it credit for.
Exactly.
I mean, really.
Exactly. And I think Retzlaff is maybe not – he's the same, but he's different in terms of what's been there. And I think Retzlaff, if he stays dialed, like they will be – they have a chance to be prolific. So I slid him in at number 4.
Yeah, that was just a blind spot for me. I've not watched enough BYU over the last 2 years, but that was just a blind spot for me. But yeah, every time I've seen them, I've enjoyed what they've done. But yeah, when I was putting this list together, didn't even think.
They've got tough concepts, and he's coached some tough guys. I like him. You want to get into even though we've talked about Manning and.
Yeah, so Sark, like I said, one of the best play callers there is going, so I don't have a problem with him at all. Manning, I think he's going to be really good. I just don't have enough. I've been on this whole benefit of the doubt thing with guys, right? So I don't think he's got enough track record for me to bump him ahead of the 3 guys I put ahead of them. But because I lean so heavily on the play caller side of this when I'm looking at putting my list together, that's how they end up at 4 because, Sark is as good as it gets. And, top however many, pick a number. The Sark's as good as it gets in terms of play calling in college football. So to me, that one was the 4 and 5 I really struggled with because they're the exact opposites of each other.
Wow. I'm looking at Tim's list. This is this is by far the most different list.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're a little all over the place.
I'm interested now. Let's talk number 5 here with what you went with.
Yeah, I'm just because we've talked a lot about Mateer and how I'm interested to see how it translates to the next level. I don't really have those questions with Arbuckle. Weirdly, it's weird to say I think the Oklahoma offense is going to translate, even if I have questions about Mateer. But at the lowest, I do think the duo together, it has a baseline level of production that's just going to be better than what Oklahoma got last year, and has an opportunity to be one of the best just offenses and run one of the best offenses in the SEC this year. They've got a good group of pass catchers. They brought Jaden Ott in. And I did some digging, just talking to people around Oklahoma. I've had a lot of conversations down there because there's a lot of mutual recruiting battles between Nebraska and Oklahoma. And the way they talk about Mateer around there is the way a lot of people talk about Dylan around here, man. Just in terms of what he's doing off the field, his ability to elevate the offense on the field, the way he stepped up as a leader, it's a lot of I just hear a lot of similarities in the way both of these programs talk about their guy and the way he's taken that step this offseason. So for me, it's just we have the proven production of 1 year of Mateer, even if it's okay, how will it translate to the SEC? But I am a big fan of Arbuckle and what he did at Washington State last year. And I do think he's on the front edge from an offensive standpoint in terms of running stuff.
I'm not going to say I'm right, but I am shocked. Neither one of you have Bryles and Hoover.
I thought about it.
On your list.
I like Bryles.
Number 1, Kendall Bryles is.
Yeah, I like Bryles.
Goes without saying. But Hoover is going to be. He was 4K a year ago, 27 TDs. I think he only had 11 picks. They were just short of prolific.
Yeah, he was one of the guys. That was one of the combos that I was really close.
I wanted to move him higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm I'm in love with Retzlaff and Roderick, but I would make the case that Bryles and Hoover as a combo should be on everybody's list. I don't know. That's just me though. Pushback to that, TV?
Yeah, I don't have any pushback there. That was one that was another tough cut. Like we talked about last week, the tough cuts are not coming from the SEC or the Big Ten. They're coming from the ACC and the Big 12.
So I asked Ravi this yesterday. Would we let conference affiliation sway us? And maybe mine did a little with the offensiveness of it.
Yeah, so for me, it wasn't. The reason I didn't go more Big 12 is because I was if I was trying to get numbers, I'm going Big 12, easy, right? Like,
but there are some good combos.
There are. No, I get it. There are. But if I'm just going, hey, that guy runs a good offense for what they need, and that quarterback does a good job of executing it, I feel like that evens the playing field a little bit between some of the numbers we'll see in the Big 12 versus what we'll see in the Big 10.
All right, talk to me about number 5. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, so I got it with Nussmeier and Sloan. That was one that was probably the only one on the list where I leaned on the quarterback because the production's really good. And Sloan's been because they were there together last year when the production was really good. That meant a lot to me here. He's probably, but that's the one where Nussmeier and Sloan were probably closer to being left off of my list than they were being any higher.
So remember, I told you I got to 12.5.
Mm-hmm.
Tim's number 6 was my half.
So I can't
go ahead. Go ahead, TV.
I love Kiffin.
Yeah, this is the play caller side of it. I love Kiffin. I think sneaky. What's been fun to watch with Kiffin as his career has evolved, as his even time as Ole Miss has evolved, is how he's merged that offense and kind of like meshed a lot of different things together in that offense to put the best plate forward for his quarterback. And I genuinely think he's going to open it up a little more than he even did for Jackson Dart, because I think that's what I think Simmons is capable of from a mental and a physical standpoint. So for me, this is more leaning on Kiffin and what we saw in spurts from Simmons late last year. And I'm just like, as high as I am on Sark as a play caller, I'm equally high on Kiffin. And so this is just Kiffin and just my belief in at the lowest what Simmons can be in that offense.
He was a half. You're like, well, DB, why do you have a half? Because of Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know enough with them together, which you'll see when I get down my list. I'm consistent in my thinking.
Yeah.
Because if I knew more about what I was getting with Stockton,
mm-hmm.
as opposed to just snippets against good team, I would make the case that they should be higher. I don't mind that because of Kiffin, because he was in consideration. So the other two you guys have too. Because I told you I had 12 that didn't make the 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
With my 6, obviously it's easy. I went with Dylan and Dana. I think Dylan's upside. I could put them ahead of. I almost put them ahead of Bryles and Hoover, but I didn't want to be accused of bias because I see Dylan a ton and I know how he's working. I think I know what this offense is going to look like. I didn't want that to sway me.
Mm-hmm.
So to keep myself chilled, I put him at 6. But I went through this list, a quick Dana Holgerson accomplishment list with Jessica the other day on Husker Sports Nightly. And she was just rattling off quarterbacks I forgot about.
He's really, really good at this.
I mean,
yeah.
From Errol to Whedon
really good at this.
Case Keenum to Geno Smith. And she just kept saying one after the other. And I was like, I forgot. Yeah, 6 with Dylan and Dana, easy for me.
Yeah, I mean, same for me. I just, obviously, you know how I feel about how this is going to go for Nebraska this year. I tried to be true to what my sort of criteria with, hey, I love the play caller. Obviously, I've got a huge track record with Dana Holgerson, so I've got 0 questions there. I've got a full season with Dylan Raiola. I am projecting some, so that's why they're further down on the list than they would have been if he had a little bit more productive or didn't have the kind of the slump midseason that he had last year. So I tried to be honest with myself about the placement there. I do think if we're at the end of the year for making the same list, that they're higher for me.
Now it starts to get interesting. Well, it's been interesting with UTV, but I like the rationale. Go ahead with number 7.
Yeah. So now I look bad because I've got Dylan and Dana much 2 spots lower. But yeah,
hey, 6 to 8 is fine. We're in the same boat. We're split.
Yeah, and the reason I put Lagway and Napier just slightly above is I like the physical upside with Lagway is slightly higher than with Dylan, just in my personal opinion. And then this is year 2 for these two as a combination. Napier, the play caller. I do think because of some of the struggles he's had in terms of personnel wise at Florida up until this point. I don't think he's gotten his credit as a play caller, but you date back to what he did at Louisiana Lafayette, and even before that, what he's done across his career as a play caller, as an offensive mind. I'm a big fan of Napier. And I do know, just kind of like, again, like I've been covering Lagway for a while. I've got a good relationship with him and his family. They basically just like fully just like Dylan and Dana kind of sat down this offseason and kind of built his offense to best fit Lagway, to best build around Lagway. And so just because it's we got a full year of it, they get a slight bump over Dylan and Dana.
With number 7, I'm good to see. I'm glad to see him on your list, Tim, making the top 10 with Mike Shanahan and Mendoza. I think I'm super familiar with Mendoza. I know what I'm getting. I like the fact that even though this will be his first year at IU as a play caller with Cignetti, Shanahan had been on staff, was a natural ascension. I like Shanahan's track record. I like Indiana's scheme. And Mendoza is so athletic for his size. I don't know. Easy top 10 slot for Mendoza and Shanahan for me.
Yeah, agree. I had to fit him in. Like, I just had to put him in.
This is one where I overthought it too much, but it was the pairing up for me where I go, okay, they haven't worked together before. New offensive coordinator with Cignetti. I couldn't quite get there. They were definitely in the top probably 15 as I'm doing the list, but I couldn't quite get there with them.
All right, you're 7?
So this is maybe where I'm out on a limb a little bit here.
I don't know.
So I go Lenore Sellers and Mike Shula. I get it's a new offensive coordinator, but and honestly, I'm not even that enamored with Mike Shula as a play caller, but here's the thing that I couldn't get over. 2015 Carolina Panthers. He was the offensive coordinator for the prime of Cam Newton's career in Carolina, including the MVP season. And I go, okay, he figured it out with obviously Cam Newton's hugely talented. So is Lenore Sellers, especially compared to relative competition. I sit there and I go, can he replicate a Cam Newton type season with a guy like Lenore Sellers? I kind of think he might be able to. So that was a true combination one for me where I was like, the skill set of this quarterback and what this offensive coordinator's done made a lot of sense for me. I felt like I had to get him in the top 10.
I enjoy the rationale because, as much pushback as I want to give any one of these individually, like I'm not sure, like I could be convinced. Yeah. Like that's a good pull.
Yeah, really good pull.
That's a good pull.
Yeah, if Logan's was still there, they would have been on it. Like my thing was just new OC, but if I guess
honestly,
Logan's, I don't know how to say his last name.
Like Logan.
Yeah.
I think Logan's is probably a better offensive coordinator than Shula.
Well, he's really good. That's why he's got another job.
But this is just like this was a pure. I was like, that fit is just so interesting because of what Shula had done before.
That's a really good pull.
Do you want to get into 8 on why you kind of slotted him lower, or you want to move on because of the Dylan Dana talk already?
No, I mean, same thing as y'all. Like, I mean, the only reason it's a tad lower than the rest is just because we haven't seen this pairing. And again, like, not that I have a question about it. I do trust Dana, but like Dana is shifting personnel a little bit. It's going to be more like what you saw kind of later in Houston and more adjusting to pro style personnel, less true spread. Like, just interested to see how his evolution. Again, no real concerns about it. It's just kind of like there's a little more unknown there than I think the average fan expects in terms of what you think of a Dana Holgorsen offense.
8 for me. I was gonna put him higher, and is Haynes King the only guy that's on my list? Is this combo? Dude,
yeah.
Buster.
Yes.
But listen, Buster Faulkner is legit. It's not just his time with Georgia. He's got Middle Tennessee State. He had Stetson Bennett going as their quarterback coach. I'm a huge Stetson Bennett guy. Middle Tennessee State was good. I think they had 430 yards of offense last year at Georgia Tech. They were 12th nationally. They're 32 points a game. And Haynes King is Haynes King. Like that combination is as good a pair. I think is almost anybody in the country. I'm shocked he's not on either one of your two's lists. So maybe I'm the dummy. But Faulkner,
I just think I'm sleeping on Buster Faulkner.
Faulkner is legit. What? Go ahead, TV.
I just think I'm sleeping on Buster Faulkner. Like I just think I'm not as tuned in on the offensive mind there. I'm in on Haynes King. I really like what the growth we saw from him last year, but I think I'm sleeping on Faulkner a little bit.
So there's two guys in your defense. There are two guys that I looked at where they are now versus what they inherited, and they got a huge bump, and that's Roderick and Buster Faulkner. I mean, BYU was abysmal before Roderick got there, and offensively, and it's not the BYU way, and they wanted to be innovative, and it cost the guy his job right before they had their hire, who you're such a huge fan of. But between where Faulkner and Roderick took their respective offenses, they got a huge bump from me. Go ahead with number 8.
So my number 8.
I'm surprised.
You thought I put him on here?
I didn't think you would.
So again, this is to acknowledge though, like I do realize what the upside of DJ Lagway is.
I know. Yeah.
Right. Like I understand, especially like Tim said earlier, physically there's a huge amount of upside there. And I do like Billy Napier. These are two guys that I like, that I maybe am not in love with the way some other people are. But I'd be crazy not to say, hey, yeah, obviously there's a chance DJ Lagway has a huge year. Like he has every physical tool you would want from a quarterback to have that. And Billy Napier's a good offensive mind. I don't love him the way I love like a Kiffin or a Sark or some of those other guys. But I think the combination of two pretty good situations could lead to a really good year for them. It just wasn't like Lagway's a guy that I need to see it on, which is why he's lower on my list.
So full disclosure, this was number 11 for me, TV, that did not make the cut. Go ahead with your number 9. My theme is I'm consistent. I needed to see more from the quarterback versus best case scenario, which was my same argument with Austin Simmons.
Yeah, this and again, like I like from your rationale, like completely get it. For me, it was my confidence in Denbrock, the offensive coordinator, what he's been done, like the recent track record specifically with him these last few years. And just like again, belief in Carr a little bit and what he can be. But yeah, like that was a tough one for me where I was just like, I need to put Denbrock in there because I'm so in on him. And I do think the floor with Carr is higher than the average power 4 starting quarterback situation or starting quarterback like output. And I again, like he's going to be able to tap into some of the quarterback run game stuff. He was able to do it. Riley Leonard again. He's going to have, maybe better pass catches this year. Like, that was it for me was just the belief in Denbrock. I think he's one of the best offensive minds in the current day age of college football. I think he's one of the best quarterback developers in the current age of college football. And I'm just very excited to see this pairing together.
I'll just get it out of the way. You know who the other left off the list?
Who?
Was Brom and Miller Moss.
So I thought about that one a lot.
So those are the 3: the Simmons, Kiffin, the Carr, Denbrock, and Moss and Brom are the guys that almost made the cut.
So you want to know one of mine that almost made the cut was Luke Altmaier and Barry Lunny.
Yeah, you like Barry?
I think he's okay, but I think the combination of them together worked really well, and I think another year it's just going to get better. I think their RPO game, like to me, and I could be wrong, I've never coached football. To me, RPO is one of those things, like the more you do it, the more efficient you get at it, the harder it is.
Defenses are adjusting now, but they need a rule change.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's sneaky.
Yeah.
It's linemen downfield.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because that's what makes the RPO game work. So a lot of good RPO teams that you guys see, watch how athletic the offensive lines are and how well coached they are, because it has to look like run.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole key.
Yeah.
It's not even the decision making of the quarterback it's great.
Yeah. And Altmaier's really good at it.
It's your line.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like that they're the guys that make it go. This one was probably the toughest for me, even tougher than 10, even though they both were tough. I just didn't feel good putting together a list without Lincoln Riley.
I didn't feel good putting a list with Jaden Maeva on it, if I'm being honest.
He gets a full year.
That's fair.
Fair. I mean, he had a little over 1,200. He was still a 2-to-1 touchdowns to interceptions guy. He's got arm talent.
I just wasn't a fan.
No,
I
believe me, I can't get Nebraska's game out of my head. Like, there were some gifts that they did not open.
4 picks in the first 2 drives.
But he'll get better. So I think, almost out of This was probably my only principal one. Just out of the
Lincoln
principle
Riley.
of Lincoln Riley, SC.
I get it.
I think they're going to be highly motivated. And I think Maeva is capable. I had to lock him in at 9.
You know how much I dislike Maeva, and I still thought about it because of Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
Like, I still had to consider it.
He's good. That's kind of how I feel about your 9.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. No, I honestly, it was basically them instead of.
Gotcha.
Because I like Jennings a little bit more than I like Maeva, and I love Rhett Lashley. And so that was.
Well, yeah. That's like right off the one. That was the one, like I said, like, yeah, I love Rhett Lashley.
He didn't want to give me too much in the opening segment, but I asked because Jennings didn't make the cut. He would have been the next of the best.
Yeah.
But I asked you. I said, hey, what do you think of Lashley?
I love Lashley
because that might have been something you could have talked me into sliding in, but I didn't feel good at having him jump 2.5 guys.
Yeah. No, I get it. And
so
honestly,
I didn't do it.
I don't even know that I would take Lashley over Riley as a play caller, but I like Jennings a little bit more, and I do love Lashley, so he slid in there for me.
All right, TV, your 10 is my 7. Talk to me.
Yeah, just like, and the more I think about it, I'm like, man, it might be a little low here, but Mendoza, big fan, like what he did at Cal, think he's, has an opportunity to kind of really elevate himself as a draftable prospect, as one of the top quarterbacks in the Big Ten this year. And then Shanahan, like, yeah, it's not, I mean, again, if you're just a fan that just kind of watched what happened in Indiana, it's like, oh, that was a 1-year wonder. Go back and look at what he did at James Madison. Go look at some of those offenses he's coordinated before. Like, the guy knows what he's doing. He constantly evolves to his personnel. Does a really good job of finding little wins, exploiting them. And I think in game last year, what really impressed me, the Nebraska game, you saw it. A couple of the games down the stretch, you saw it. When he found a weak point in the defense, he hammered it. He hammered it, and I think his adjustment game and his ability to kind of work with this quarterback and adjust the offense game like week to week really impressed me. Like, this is the one like with Dylan and Dana, I think by the end of the year could be much higher on this list.
Yeah, that's exact. Wow, insert my number 10. I think Bobo's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Stockton. He showed me enough on short notice with the Beck injury, especially with the caliber of competition he was playing against. I think this combo has a ton of upside because Stockton he's got enough agility. He can run. He can improvise. I like Bobo's creativity. I almost kept them off behind what would have been Braum and Moss, though. So I'm like,
I did think about Braum and Moss. I really did,
because they would have been 10 for me.
I don't like Moss enough, and Braum isn't quite to that same level that I love a Lashley or some of those other guys. So I left him off. But
all I went by to separate the two, was who I think is going to hang in there longer, and I took Gunnar Stockton. But I like Moss and Braum.
Yeah.
But that was the separator for me at 10. Tim, what do you think?
I'm a Bobo guy, and I think there's a world where it works. I'm not a Stockton guy, even with what we saw last year. I'm not like I
little too skittish for you.
Yeah, like a little too skittish. He's like I think it was a playoff game or one of those like last games at the end of the year for Georgia. I remember texting one of my scouting buddies, and I was like, he's just spraying like he's a sprayer. Like it's a spray and pray quarterback. Like it's just kind of like a
keepers were so bad they can't catch.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's definitely that aspect of it, and and I'm interested to see how it goes this year with some of the new weapons, like Zachariah Branch, how they utilize him. They brought Noah Thomas in. Like they answered some of those offensive questions I had about them, but. Yeah, I just think Stockton's a guy where, a little too skittish, little too all over the place. Like, I need to see him get dialed back in. I'm weirdly just not. I'm a Georgia guy overall, like, just in terms of, I do think Kirby's a coach that's going to have this team in contention year in and year out. I think this is going to be a relative down year for them just because I'm not super optimistic on the offensive output they're going to get.
Now, this one's interesting. Did I talk you into this?
No.
Okay.
I love Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, but I thought I had to talk into Castellanos.
So I don't love Castellanos in general, but I do think this is a uniquely good fit with Malzahn because of some of the quarterbacks that he had not named Cam Newton. Like Castellanos looks like a lot of those guys. And this is a guy that ran for 1,000 yards in 2023, was a much improved passer in the half season he played last year. Like, I love Malzahn. I've always been sort of obsessed with his play calling and play design and how he can do so many different things that look like other things that he's like. His kind of deception within an offense, I think, is fascinating. And Castellanos looks a lot like the quarterbacks he had that weren't Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Smaller stature guys, maybe even a little bit run first, but it can keep you honest with the arm. Like, I think that's a fascinating combination. It probably is a reach here at 10, but I did want to talk about him just because, because he's apparently difficult. Gus Malzahn doesn't get probably the credit that he should as a play caller and as an offensive mind. And B, I do think it's a weirdly good fit.
All right, TV, kind of on the spot. But if you had a chance to add a combination that you didn't, that you would go back and get, who is it?
Looking over this, I think it's Hoover Bryles.
That's mine.
I think it's Hoover Bryles. Just because from a production standpoint, what I know what both of them are capable of, that was just one that putting this list together, I think it just slipped my mind. Just again, Hoover was super productive because it came up in the QB thing. Like, he was so productive last year in that discussion, and Bryles, again, the track record is pretty high.
I'm mad at myself for saying this because I haven't seen him play. But I would go with either Carr and Denbrock or Jennings and Lashley.
I couldn't do Carr.
And I'm mad about the Jennings and Lashley because he wasn't in my top 12. He was 13.
Yeah. I love Lashley. Like, that was, for me, that was one that like I said, on all of these, the play caller typically held heavy for me. And the only one that doesn't hold true for is Joe Sloan. And other than that, the play caller was a huge factor for me. So I would lean on play caller over how much I like a quarterback.
All right, take a quick peek, TV. I fibbed on the last one before I get you out of here. Who's the most boomer bust combo that you see? It might be easy because you went with San or Kienholz and Day, but I'm curious about the thoughts on Mateer.
That's the one. I think
is
the
Mateer?
Because there's a world where Mateer Arbuckle, call me crazy. There's a world where Mateer Arbuckle ends the year where it's like, hey man, Mateer's going to New York. He's going to be at the Heisman Trophy presentation. Might even be the favorite to win. And there's also a world where it's the end of the year and it's Venables' era is probably over. They took a swing and it didn't go. They just took a risk on a young OC, on a young quarterback, developing quarterback, and it did go well. I think that's the biggest boomer bust on this list for me. The other one I think is going to be Lagway Napier, just because it's in the same boat where it's hey, the upside is these two, again, Lagway may just end up in New York, at the Heisman Trophy presentation. But on the flip side, it's Napier it might be over. It might just be hey, we tried, we did something, we gave you a leash, we gave you a 5-star quarterback, we gave you NIL resources, and it didn't work.
I think mine is my number 10. It's Stockton and Bobo because it gave me the most.
Sure.
It gave me the most consternation.
I think Lagway and Napier is mine. I think there's some of these, and part of that is an SEC thing. I think there's some of these other combinations where it's I feel like Gus Malzahn is going to figure out how to score points in the ACC. I feel like Lashley's going to figure out how to score points in the ACC. It could get on top of Florida. I don't think it's going to get on top of some of those other schools that are not in the Big Ten or SEC. Some of those guys, it's okay, if it doesn't, if they can't figure it out, it could get on top of Lagway and Napier.
TV, fantastic stuff, bud. You never disappoint.
Man, I appreciate y'all.
Got it.
That's Tim Verghese, Inside Nebraska. Great stuff, as always, from our guy. Let's take a quick break here because we took the whole hour, and we got to talk to Mike Sautter now. But we appreciate.
I feel like I need a cigarette. I don't even smoke.
You need a minute. You need to go touch some grass, maybe.
Man. So when you hear my bottom 3 or 4 that didn't make the cut, I'm still shocked you couldn't get to 10.
It's not that I couldn't get to 10.
I couldn't pare it down.
So I got to about 7 or 8, and I was like, I'm going to start having to reach here.
Because
there were only 7 or 8 where I really liked both sides of the pair.
Are you laughing that I had no Levitt or Dillingham?
I'm not I mean,
I'm glad to see Tim didn't either.
I thought it was an omission for sure.
I don't know.
For both of you, honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't on either of your lists.
I thought about it.
So maybe I'm out there on my own. Like, I don't know.
That'll be good.
I was surprised that they weren't on either of your lists. I thought 3 was a little high, maybe, but I like Dillingham a lot too. So maybe that's part of it. We'll be right back here with more Hurrdat Sports Live. I'm Ravi Lulla.
I'm Kenny Bell.
We're here from Hurrdat Sports. Don't worry, Metro Transit has you covered right here on the ballpark bus. It's gonna run from right here down by the stadium, north of downtown, all the way up to Dodge Street, making a circle to drop you off wherever you need to go.
Oh, beautiful. So what's it cost?
It is free. It runs every 10 minutes, and it'll run almost all day until an hour after the last game. Or Kenny, if you're like me, you don't want to deal with driving downtown at all, Metro Transit has you covered there too. You can park out at West Roads for free and get a ride downtown through Orbit.
That's right. They added an extra Orbit stop at 10th and Capitol, only $1.25. Fills up after the game, quick, nice service, right back out to West Roads.
$2.50 round trip, can't beat it.
And free parking? You kidding me?
Plan your trip or track your bus at myride.ometro.com.
Or download the MyRide OMA app.
Attribute to the quality of this group to get you to this point?
I think probably just team camaraderie. Like we love each other. We believe in one another, and I mean we're just out here having fun. Like there's no pressure at all. We're playing loose. We're just having fun. Like that's all it is.
When in the season did you realize that this team could make a run?
I think like about halfway through conference play. You know, we looked at the standings. We're like, hey, we're kind of making a run up towards the first place. Then we had a couple big weekends at the end of the year. Ended up clinching that number 1 seed in the tournament, swept the tournament, and we're like, all right, like we're pretty good. So once we got our draw and knew we were playing a familiar team in Ole Miss, I think we were all pretty confident that we could take them down.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
To Omaha. What does it mean for you to accomplish this with this group?
I mean, it means everything to us, especially after the season we had last year, to kind of learn from what we did and to come back and put ourselves in a position to win everything. It's just a testament to our guys and our character.
You guys have a large sophomore class. How much belief was that from last year when you guys were freshmen that, okay, we can get back to this point, and here you are now?
Yeah, we talked about it almost every day. You know, none of us were satisfied with what we did last year, obviously. And just like us being so close, like we just had a feeling, and here we are.
Yeah. You got 33 kids on this team from California. How special is it to rep the Bruins?
Oh yeah, it means everything. Being the hometown kids, you know, representing West Coast baseball, putting that on the big stage is everything. Yeah.
You guys were just here for the Big Ten tournament. Was that helpful to kind of get a taste of this ballpark and how it plays?
Yeah, it wasn't as. I'd say it's the biggest advantage you can have here. I mean, we know like how the field plays, like how the grass plays, the environment we can expect, especially with that Nebraska game where we got a decent crowd. So yeah, I'd say it's huge.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Mike Sautter.
Yeah.
Mike Sautter.
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot.
Mike Sautter.
Welcome back. Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Mike Sautter from Hurrdat Sports and NAB Preps. What's up, Mike?
Not much. Just found a little room.
Sleepy.
What?
Sound sleepy.
Bro, it's a long day yesterday, and today is going to be even longer. So, yeah.
Well, where are we at? What are we doing?
I'm in Kansas City for the Midwest. What's this thing called? 2025 Girls Midwest Showcase Basketball. So, young Jacob Padilla and I left yesterday morning about 8:45 and went straight to the gym. First game was 12:15. We left the gym at 10, and a game every hour on the hour. With teams from Nebraska was yesterday in that time frame. And then today, well, they start right now at 9, and there's a game with a team from Nebraska every hour on the hour from 9 to 9 p.m. start. So get home about 1:30 this morning, maybe something like that, or tomorrow morning, whatever.
Not bad. Micah asked me yesterday, somehow you two came up and Micah goes, well, don't they kind of both do the same thing. I can't remember what he was looking at on social media. And I was like, yeah, they're vastly different people though. And no, this is funny because this is totally Breeze. He goes, well, Mike should do that stuff that Jacob does because that dude is constantly cranking out stats. And I go, that's what makes them both work.
Yeah, we work well together because
one's the story getter, engaging personality, can knock down walls guy. And the other is kind of doesn't want to do that, but likes the guts.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like I was talking with the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association director yesterday, and he's like, "Thanks for being here. We are the only two media members at this event. At least we were yesterday. The only two from every state that's represented. When I say every state, I mean Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. We are the only two that were here." And he kind of just, he's known us because we've come to this. I've been coming to this since the boys' first one ever, when I first saw Grady Dick when he was a sophomore in high school. But he, appreciated our time and whatever. And he was asking us, just different things about what we do and stuff. And he kind of said he pays attention to what we do and likes what we do. And I said, yeah, we couldn't be different. We couldn't be more opposite people, just as far as personalities and the way we go about our job. We do some things similarly, but Jacob is very much so the analytics nerd. Like if you lock Jacob Padilla up in a room and told him he needs to break down all the analytics, like numbers of 10 basketball games, and you have 24 hours, he would not leave that room.
Yeah, he's working all 24 hours.
Yeah.
Sleep for the next 24, like JP Van Winkle, but
yeah.
Knocking it out.
Like his, back when we used to do player rankings together years ago, that people got mad at us for, we were ranking 25 players, and it took like 5 hours.
I bet.
Because we'd go back and forth and we wouldn't argue, but he would say, well, he'd pull some random ass stat. Like, well, in the fourth quarter of game 17.
Bless his heart, because that's how I got to my finalist for Player of the Year for basketball. Do you know what he did? He ended up, because the two guys that I felt like I was deciding between, he broke down their games in scoring versus top 10 opponents in crunch time.
Yeah, like stuff like that, right? Like
Who's doing that?
Which he has to on his own because those stats don't exist for high schoolers.
Yeah,
yeah.
But that's how he writes.
No, I know.
He goes first quarter, second quarter,
I know.
third quarter, fourth quarter. Like he already has that at his disposal.
But that's what I mean. But like, it's not like he's going and
then
looking
he just
that
has
up
to.
somewhere.
He just has to see who were the top 10 opponents.
He is his own database. That's
You should see how he debates in our text group. It's sickening. It's like, yeah.
I'm more of the like I like some of the numbers stuff, but I'm like the opposite because I'm like, well, I saw them do this.
Yeah.
Like I've seen them capable of doing that. Or hey,
he's definitely a facts over feelings guy. He's like blank your feelings.
Yeah, I think Mike and I are sort of the same. It's like we want the numbers to back up our eyeballs.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like I'm probably starting with my eyes, right?
Right.
Yeah. You know, it's
I will. You guys, this is incredible. By the way, this while we're on this topic, because I told people this yesterday too, and Jake and I couldn't be more opposite. But like that dude's like my best friend. Like I have such an appreciation for our friendship, and like I was the first person that ever hired him when he was in college. I will never forget like seeing him for the first time, and I was like, "This is the guy." But we've grown. Like we talk all the time. We communicate all the time. We communicate very differently, but he is like the salt of the earth human being, and like this man wrote down. It was Monday. We knew we were coming here. He's like my ops guy, right? Like that's what I call him. He wrote down every game time for these 2 days from every school, what court they were on, everything. Even though it's like on a Word doc that's very easy to find on, a .com. He wrote it all down. Like like it's all written there.
Yeah.
And then he also was like, we talked about like, okay, what players do we want to see, whatever. He went for every one of these teams. There's like 20 teams from Nebraska. And on Wednesday, I get a text, same handwritten notes of like, these are the top players from every team of these 20 girls basketball teams that we're going to see from Nebraska. These are the players we need to see.
My favorite thing is not only does he not badmouth people, like he's not a behind the back gossiper guy. He doesn't care who gets the credit either. So if he can give you an assist, he's more than happy to be.
Dude, you don't even know. So like he was my cheat code when I was recruiting this area. Like, because those player lists that everybody got mad about, he didn't just do 25. He'd have like 70 at every position. And he would send those to me every year while I'm looking at the area. So I would just know where to start, right? Like, okay, the top few guys, like that's a D1 guy, that's a D2 guy. I start somewhere around like 10 and I start figuring out, okay, what games can I go see this guy? And then he'd be like, oh, well, these two are going to play each other here. So you should go to that one. Like that dude was my total cheat code.
About as unselfish.
And never asked for like a word of credit or anything. Like it was unbelievable. He did that. He did that for years.
I wish he would have hurried up and ate breakfast at the hotel this morning though, because I was trying to. Like,
is he a low maintenance eater? He seems like it.
He was waiting for the kids doing the waffle maker for a minute there, and like I could tell he's getting a little frustrated. Like, come on, man! Like,
man's wanted a waffle.
So he's clearly getting around better.
He's limping around. Yeah, limping around. When I pulled into the parking lot here today, I was like, this is just as close or the best handicap parking I could give you today.
Yeah,
he's got the off though, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, he's got a little brace thing on, but he just gave me a little chuckle when I said that. I was like, well, I thought that was kind of funny, but I guess you didn't. He's limping around. Luckily, from when I had my knee surgery 2 years ago, 2 summers ago that was, I have one of those like little camping chair things that you can just sit on because for some reason they don't want to give us a chair to sit on, like on the court, and we can't sit. They said that you can't sit over by the coaches
Oh, they like media. They appreciate media, but not that much, huh?
Yeah, and I'm like, and so like it's concrete floor you're standing on all day, not great. And so I'm like, well, I think I got that camping chair, and I went to the car and I got it, and I was like, here, use this today. I will be the person that stands or sits on the concrete all day. So, yeah, no, I'm a compassionate soul.
Yeah. Right. Are you ready for next week?
Monday, Tuesday, yeah, we're ready. 7-on-7, we call it the state championship, even though we have Lewis Central and Thomas Jefferson playing this year in it. 18 teams total, 18 different schools throughout the state, and starts Monday at 10 a.m. And that's pool play starts then, and we'll be done by about 5 on Monday, and then Tuesday the bracket play starts, and we will be starts at 10 a.m. at Bellevue West, and we will be done by about 4.
Yeah, so I read that right. We're only playing 3 games on Monday, right?
Yeah, so it's a guarantee of 5, right? So 3 the first day and 2 the next day. So like if you lose, then you just have a consolation game if you lose your first game.
Where can I find the schedule, Mike?
I believe it is on Hurrdatsports.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I need to figure out. I gotta start scouting. So I gotta see where I need to be.
We have a very user-friendly schedule. I'm glad we don't do anything until 11 or after.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, there's some people that requested certain times, or hey, can we be later or earlier? And I may or may not know the person that put the schedule together and put the pools together.
I didn't ask for you to do me a solid this time.
You didn't, but I think
Kinda
I think Coach Lamondre was like, "Hey, we lift at 9. Can we go later or something?" And then I had like Central City has baseball that night, so they're like, the earlier the better. Can we go earlier the better? So we'll we're going a little earlier for them, and then like Bennington and Columbus Lakeview asked to go later in the day, so because they have little kid camp, and so I put them towards the end of the day. Man, I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna not look at the chat because I really want to respond to Tyler Olson right now. Ooh, buddy. All right.
Why? What did he say?
Something about Mike is tough to bear. Nebraska athletics hater to the max and gets old. Am I?
Wow.
Tell me how.
Jerome, we're not doing this.
No. Let's go there because like this is like a public perception thing from a couple weeks ago, I guess. Tell me how. I want to know how I am that. Give me examples of how I am a Nebraska hater to the max.
Why, Tyler? Why?
No, does anyone have an example except for me talking about the game that I watch basketball, college basketball, every single one of Nebraska's games the last 2 years that I've talked about, except for me saying my opinion of what happened in that game? Give me an example of where I'm a hater. I want an example.
Hey, so real quick.
Hey, Tyler, shoot me. I can give you my email or whatever, and you and your buddies that think I'm a Nebraska hater, which is totally not true, you can share examples. I want examples of why I'm a Nebraska hater, why I hate Nebraska athletics, because that cannot be further from the truth if you want me to be real honest. Frankly, the team that I cover, Nebraska men's basketball primarily, I would like them to do well because it makes my job easier.
I actually have a question because you do have a good relationship with Nate and Coach Weiberg and those guys. You think with the summer so far that London Dada is off to, that's the name of a guy that's getting ready to could potentially be on the map of he comes across as a rising star. Potentially with the summer that he's gotten off, the good start to the summer he's gotten off.
Yeah, the Adidas Live Period event in Council Bluffs really helped his cause. I will say that. So he very much so
helped himself, if you will. He's got to be more consistent. He's got to get tougher. He's got to rebound more. He's got to do those things. But one thing that he doesn't need to get better at, well, you can always get better at, is shooting the basketball from the three-point line. And he's also 6'7"-ish. So that certainly helps. And he will probably stretch out a little bit more. He's a young junior too, or a young 2027. So he's a little behind. So I'm very high on the future of London Dada. It's not right now, right? It's not like, yep, we need to offer that guy right now. But it certainly should be coming if he continues to progress.
So with Weber going to La Lumiere, is that the next best prospect potential?
I lost you.
Can you hear me now? What about now?
I can hear him.
I can hear him just fine
on our side though, so I think his internet. He was a little bit
okay.
Play.
Go. Yeah, it went. It.
Okay, there you go. Hey, so with Weber going to La Lumiere, is that probably the next closest prospect at that level?
Buffering.
Listen, I'm not saying it's tomorrow. This game is all about projection. Can't hear me? Oh, that really sucks.
I think he said it was buffering.
Is he back now?
Okay, now you're back again. Weber going to Lalu. I think the question that you're going to answer me is who's the next guy in the senior class?
Even if it's not the senior class, is the next 2 years? Is it Dada?
There's 3-ish in the area right now. One.
You're gonna go to Council Bluffs.
I love that kid.
Yeah, he's really good.
I think Callan Steinbeck is who we're talking about, who's now at Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln, actually transferred from Blair. He's going to be a sophomore, so the 2028 class. I think he has a chance to be potentially like Jackson McAndrew type guy. I really do. He's tough. Showed a lot of toughness. He's got to get better at a lot of things, but he can really shoot it. At the Creighton team camp, there's a kid from Regis Jesuit that has a Colorado State and Northern Colorado offers, and he's about a 6'6" kind of strong post guy that can step out and shoot it. And he just tried to bully this, he tried to just bully him because he's bigger and stronger. And Callan Steinbeck was having none of it, and I love that toughness. His shot wasn't going in, but he was not backing down from that dude, and they beat that team. So really like him. Obviously, Lee Robinson's a name in basketball circles that we've talked about for a long time. He's another one in there. Jordan Castor from North Star is another name in that group. And London is probably the next up guy. Like in the 2026, someone's got to have a really good July in order for there to be one Division I basketball player out of high school in Nebraska. Maybe Jerrion Williams is that guy at North.
So I was just getting ready to ask you about him.
Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of tools that are really good. The chip on the shoulder thing.
Summer.
Yeah, he's had a good summer and all of that. It's just like there's some stuff like extra that he needs to just calm down on, I think. But right now in 2026, we have 0 boys basketball players with a Division I offer, and that would be the first time in a very long time. 2016, Tristan Simpson was the one Division I basketball player, and he went to Lincoln North Star. I'm talking just straight out of high school, not JUCO, and then moving on. But Tristan Simpson was the one in 16. And that feels about where we're at right now. Last year, the 2025 class was Bryson Ball and Brock Scholl, and that was it. Mm-hmm. So, we went through this golden age era of about 4 years, and now we're kind of kind of down at the bottom of the hill here.
Let me get you out on this because you know both guys really well. Who has the bigger, or who makes the quicker impact? Bloomington or or up there in the Minneapolis Twin Cities area in the Big Ten with their new coaching hires?
Oh, Medved is pretty good. I think he's got a little more challenges than D-Rock at Indiana.
Is it D-Rock's NIL? Because Minnesota does play as good a basketball, in my opinion, at the AAU level as they do in the state of Indiana.
Oh yeah, Minnesota has players all the time. Like,
I mean, they are legit.
Minnesota has great players.
Yeah, Minnesota has like the Twin Cities area. There's players everywhere, like all over. I think it's just more of the NIL base, and so Nico at Minnesota, he's got to get that developed and rolling. Now Indiana's like, they got money, man. Like, their roster last year was really expensive. There's numbers floated about that last year Indiana's roster was about 10 million or so, and that seems about right because I mean, I know one guy they paid $2 million to. So, and they had to get rid of Mike Woodson. That was not working out. Just financially, you're not spending that money, and you're not going to spend that money for that return on investment. You're just not. And that's the day and age of college athletics right now. So, yeah, I do think that Nico will get it going. He's a great coach and super, like, really good people person and good energy and shake hands, kiss baby guy. Like, he's one of those. And D-Rock can be that. He's just not as, like, boisterous. Would that be the word? But D-Rock's a hell of a basketball coach. I know that. Like, he's pretty damn good. So his kid's not bad either.
Yeah, his kid's pretty solid.
He's gonna be healthy.
Yeah.
So back to the important stuff. So my Miller North Mustangs playing 2, 3, and 4 on Monday. Let's get it.
Is that when they play? Yeah, I don't know
what it looks like.
Yeah, whatever. Well, I haven't scheduled.
I'm seeing those guys unless I hang around.
So I'll see you in the afternoon, Sautter.
Yeah, Pool D. Yep, they are D1 is their pool number, and they play at 2, 3, and oh yeah, I did 4. Whoops, I think I had to change something there. I like to just do so teams don't have to sit around and wait forever. I like to do play 2, sit 1, play your third, or play 1, sit 1, play your 2 back to back. And I must have messed that up. My fault. But it's not like they're playing at 10 and then at 3, right? So
one of those AAU tournaments where you're sitting around for 6 hours.
Yeah, it's not that. So I'm excited about Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully the weather holds out. This is an event that I've done or been a part of or had been the leader of, getting the teams and all that stuff for.
Who are you working closer with, Morrow or Huffman?
Oh, Morrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Bellevue West is the official host, and their admin, I will say, has been fantastic to work with to get this done.
He's good at what he does.
Yeah, we're gonna have full concession. Well, not full, not like we're not having tacos or pizza or anything, but we're having a concession stand out there. And yes, this year, unlike previous years, it's we are charging admission, so $10 a day per day for basically everyone. Which, if you've been to AAU basketball tournament, that is a steal. $10 a day, I might say. So yeah.
Hey, you know what? The concession is kind of low key. That's a nice little trade-off.
It is.
Yeah. So we're gonna have concessions, and yeah, it'll be good. We're gonna have referees. I had to order some stopwatches and stuff last week and beanbag things for the SAT. We're playing by the same rules that we have the last couple of years when Battle helped me run it, which I props to them, and they might be back next year to help do some things, but just this year didn't work out for them. Timing wise, I guess, would be one thing. But yeah, so you get, unlike passing league or whatever, you get 1 blitz per game. So it kind of throws things off a little bit, because that 4 seconds is a long time to sit back there and throw the ball.
Yeah, I was surprised. I did like Trey's analysis, though, Taylor. He said 7-on-7 is actually quicker than in football because of the body types that you're playing against and how small the windows are in 7-on-7.
windows are a lot smaller.
He's the first quarterback I've actually heard say it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I guess you're not moving either, right? Like as a quarterback, you're not really moving your feet and getting out of the pocket and stuff. So you're just kind of standing back there and looking. So it's really about your eyes and all that. I will tell you, finding windows. Don't tell his dad I said this.
Well, he made. Go ahead.
Don't tell his dad I said this. But that Braylon Warren kid on Wednesday when I was at Omaha North, he found some windows.
You know the funny thing is we didn't play well either. I'm not saying that to be all. It was poor enough where we watched it the next day.
Yeah, well, playing against 8 defenders at sometimes in 7-on-7 is a little hard.
And
too.
we have to bring a blitzer, so we actually have 7, right? So that's also,
right. Bryson Williams was fantastic, though. I thought on Wednesday he was awesome.
He's got a few contenders across the Metro on different teams that I like. But he'll be a guy that could make the case as the guy that's flying under the radar with the most upside. If you talk about a guy that's flying way under the recruiting radar that has a tremendous upside, he's going to be in like the top 2 or 3 across schools in the Metro.
And he's both two-way guy, right? So, or he did on Wednesday, played some safety.
He's a great student too.
Yeah, he seemed like the interview I did with him seems like a smart kid, even though I think he said he's faster than Jackson in that interview, which is not true. Like I don't think that's.
He may end up being fat. He's not. Jackson would eat him up.
Not today.
I might text him right now, man. Stop fibbing.
Yeah. So anyway, Monday though, I want to talk about this. So you're going to see pretty good quarterback play. Jet Tamala will be there on Monday and not Tuesday for Millard South because he's going to Elite 11, and then Braylon Warren's there. Those are the top 2, quarterbacks. Will Anderson, Bellevue West, is there. Central City's no slouch in that department as well. They played pretty well, and then Millard North, like that QB battle.
Yeah.
So with Rush and Leggett. So that we'll see how they do that. I'm forgetting people somewhere, and someone's gonna get mad at me, but that's okay.
I get. I can't even believe I'm going to say this out loud, but I probably like Leggett more than most.
Okay, yeah, he's fine. Like I think on this show I said, like, was it 2 years ago when he was a backup? I'm like, they should be playing that.
He kind of dealt us fits because he could buy time.
Yeah,
he could buy.
Yeah, so that one will be interesting to see what that looks like. So I do know this Millard South pretty good. So,
yeah,
like they have. Did you know? You do know. You know this. People out there listening, Millard South now has 7 FCS or FB 7. Millard South has 7 FBS commitments on their 2026 roster right now in the class of 2026, and they will end up with 8.
It seems like a lot.
Is that
that's probably never been done before in Nebraska, right? 8.
8
on one team.
8 is a lot
in one class.
In one class, in one team, yeah.
One class, probably not.
I'm just thinking of.
I just know, like, okay, so this because I was there, but if
Millard
you
North
multiple classes, 03 Millard North would have had, I think, 9 or 10 between a couple classes, but not in one class.
Yeah, I mean they have 8. The one guy yet to make a decision, if you will, is Dallas Gaius, the tight end. So Dayton just committed to Army. Carter Glabb's committed to Army. Army. Von Segren is Illinois, the lineman. Then you have Tamala, the quarterback, committed to Iowa State. Then Amarion Jackson's committed to Iowa State. Nelson Wheeler's committed to Illinois. And Isaac Jensen. Oh, yeah, my guy. Isaac Jensen. Love Isaac Jensen. Said that. Remember that conversation? He's committed to Missouri. And then you have Dallas Gaius, who has offers like Fresno State and Washington State and stuff. So,
boy, Ants isn't playing around at Fresno, is he? He
knows
this area.
Oh yeah,
he's hitting this area. Yeah, pretty good. because then, I mean, the West Side, you have Mo is involved there, right? He's visiting there or Washington State or
already
something.
there.
Yeah, there. So yeah, it's funny how like Washington State and people wonder like, why, how are Nebraska kids like Washington State and Fresno State? Well, it's because their coaches were at South Dakota State and North Dakota State, so they have connection to the area, and that's.
It's like what Craig Bowl did when he left North Dakota State. Wyoming just feasted on Nebraska kids.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. It was the same thing. Like K-State is making runs up here because of that. Like they just you go where you have the connection where you're at. So, yeah.
I wonder how long it'll be before we see the Connor Riley effect.
Of him leaving and going to Dallas, probably a little. I mean, I probably think a little bit. Like yeah. I mean, I like Connor Riley. Have I told you the story about Connor Riley and I watching Millard South the first half together last year? And again, I forget who they were playing, but it was like the second quarter and it was basically over. And he was there, and I've known him since forever. And he came up to me and we were talking, and he was asking me about players, and he's like, that West Side quarterback.
Oh yeah, he's talking about Braylon. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, that West Side quarterback, that dude is I'm gonna say it because I can. That dude is a motherfucker. And I was like, I looked at him and I go, yep, he is. It's pretty good. I go, and then I remember pointing to the field. I'm like, but that guy's not bad either over there. So he was, and when he said that, I'm like, okay. Because Connor Riley knows what he's doing, right? Like, and from that angle,
he's coaching in the pros now, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's the offensive line coach for the Dallas Cowboys now, and was the offensive coordinator. So he said that when he said that about Braylon, I was like, all right, man. Like, yep, he is pretty good.
Well, be safe on your drive back.
Yeah, well, Jacob's probably gonna fall asleep, so
will be dark.
Not a good co-pilot?
Yeah, well, I told him he's got a little work he's got to do for we got to work on this. We got to write something up from the last 2 days or the 2 days that we're seeing. So, like, might as well just turn that hotspot on your phone and pop on and just start writing stuff. So when we got back to the hotel last night, we went over notes and compared stuff and things like that. So we'll do the same probably on the 3-hour drive home. The bugs that will hit my windshield will keep me awake, though.
All right, buddy. Drive safe.
That's our guy, Mike Sautter.
Yeah.
There we go. Mike Sautter, Hurrdat Sports, NEB Preps. Don't forget, it's also the first day of the baseball championships downtown. You don't have to worry about driving down there yourself if you don't want to. Go to ometro.com and see what your options are, whether it's the Orbit bus to take you from Westroads downtown or the ballpark bus that runs around the stadium and towards downtown as well. They've got you covered to make your life a little bit easier on this hectic weekend here in Omaha. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next. I'm Ravi Lulla.
I'm Kenny Bell.
We're here from Hurrdat Sports. Don't worry, Metro Transit has you covered right here on the ballpark bus. Gonna run from right here down by the stadium, north of downtown, all the way up to Dodge Street, making a circle to drop you off wherever you need to go.
Oh, beautiful. So what's it cost?
It is free. It runs every 10 minutes, and it'll run almost all day until an hour after the last game. Or Kenny, if you're like me, you don't want to deal with driving downtown at all, Metro Transit has you covered there too. You can park out at Westroads for free and get a ride downtown through Orbit.
That's right. They added an extra Orbit stop at 10th and Capitol. Only $1.25. Fills up after the game. Quick, nice service right back out to Westroads.
$2.50 round trip. Can't beat it.
And free parking? You kidding me?
Plan your trip or track your bus at myride.ometro.com.
Or download the MyRide OMA app.
attribute to the quality of this group to get you to this point?
I think probably just team camaraderie. Like we love each other. We believe in one another, and I mean we're just out here having fun. Like there's no pressure at all. We're playing loose. We're just having fun. Like that's all it is.
When in the season did you realize that this team could make a run?
I think like about halfway through conference play, we looked at the standings. We're like, hey, we're kind of making a run up towards the first place. Then we had a couple big weekends at the end of the year. Ended up clinching that number 1 seed in the tournament. Swept the tournament, and we're like, all right, like we're pretty good. So once we got our draw and knew we were playing a familiar team in Ole Miss, I think we were all pretty confident that we could take them down.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Back to Omaha. What does it mean for you to accomplish this with this group?
I mean, it means everything to us, especially after the season we had last year, to kind of learn from what we did and to come back and put ourselves in a position to win everything. It's just a testament to our guys and our character.
You guys have a large sophomore class. How much belief was that from last year when you guys were freshmen that, okay, we can get back to this point, and here you are now?
Yeah, we talked about it almost every day. None of us were satisfied with what we did last year, obviously. And just like us being so close, like we just had a feeling, and here we are.
Yeah. You got 33 kids on this team from California. How special is it to rep the Bruins?
Oh yeah, it means everything. Being the hometown kids, representing West Coast baseball, putting that on the big stage is everything. Yeah.
You guys were just here for the Big Ten tournament. Was that helpful to kind of get a taste of this ballpark and how it plays?
Yeah, it wasn't as. I'd say it's the biggest advantage you can have here. I mean, we know like how the field plays, like how the grass plays, the environment we can expect, especially with that Nebraska game where we got a decent crowd. So yeah, I'd say it's huge.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla, reminding you when it comes to your debit card, you need something fast and secure. It's got to be something that works. You can just tap, pay, and go with your Centris Federal Credit Union debit card. When you open a checking account at Centris, you get a free Centris Visa debit card as well. Learn more about Centris's debit cards by going to centrisfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA. All right, DB.
All right, Ravi.
You ready to wrap up the week?
I mean, kinda.
Kinda? Were you having a good week? You like it?
No. So can I just tell you, so far, Sepp Straka has shot 15 over for me the 2 times I picked him.
Yeah. We're having a tough go.
I might be off the Sepp.
Yeah, on Sepp.
Yeah.
Morikawa played all right for you though.
No, I mean I'll be in the thick of it.
Yeah, I don't know that I will. I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I need Scotty to make some moves.
Yeah, he actually, at least he showed he was human.
Yeah, well, he had like a little run there. He got like back-to-back birdies. And I'm like, okay, here we go, and then falls back to +3 for the day. I don't know, man. I was
that course.
I'm gonna need also like the difference of the guys that teed off early versus late.
Yeah,
like killing me out here.
It's okay. And all our guys were late.
You say it's okay because you're still in good shape.
I'm really not, though. I mean, I'm fine. I'm not panicking.
I'm panicking a little.
I mean,
being honest.
So we've got some guys that, like, because right now, and it's early, the cut line would be +4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody's got a handful. I mean, Cantlay's at +6, Straka's at +10. And we've got some guys that are on the struggle bus.
Scheffler's already +4 for the day, so he's barely making the cut right now.
For the day?
No, I mean total. He's +4 total. He's +1 on the day. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some +12s, some +13s.
No, I'm talking about the cut line.
Oh,
right now, currently the cut line is at +4.
I don't need to hear from you, Peanut Gallery over there, Mr. Picking the front runners and.
Yeah, I mean Spawn, even Day's off to a good start. Day's 3 under right now.
Yeah,
on the day, +3 for the tournament.
Yeah, I don't like how this is going for me.
What are you talking? You got Day still in the hunt. You've got Ludwig still in the hunt.
Ludwig's +2.
Ravi, you're trying to make the cut.
I'm just saying, if the cut line ends up being 4, I got DeChambeau at +3, I got Scheffler at +4, and I got Oberg at +2. Like those guys are all going to be flirting with the cut line. I don't like that. I'm in trouble.
And the problem is Fleetwood, Matsuyama, Rory, and Phil all at +4 with Scheffler. Oh no, Scheffler's teed off already. Neiman's 1 under for the day. How about that? He fell apart.
Jason Day +3.
But he's 3 under on the day. So what I'm saying is you're trying to make it 2 days. You're trying to make it through the 2 days. You're not going to shoot a great score.
I get that.
You want to make the cut.
But if the cut line is +4, Cantlay's +6 today, or plus this current coming into the day, and then I've got my best score is +2, is only 2 strokes above the cut line.
Yeah. Well,
like I could go.
Straka's not even making it to the weekend.
I could go 0 for 5 on cuts.
That'd be awesome.
Like I could go 0 for 5 on cuts. That's in play.
That would be scintillating.
I would be furious because I picked Scheffler. I can't get 1 cut with Scheffler.
Yeah, you have Scheffler,
DeChambeau,
Ludwig, Cantlay, and Day.
Yeah,
Day's in good shape. Ludwig's in good shape.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Just because Day shot a -3, he's still +3 on the day, or +3 on total. If the cut line's +4, like he's right there. He's in trouble.
Nah, you're right.
He's not going to go -3 on the back 9 too.
Rom, Spawn, Hideki, Justin. Shane's the one that could be in trouble.
Well, that's what I was saying. Justin's at +12.
I know, but he's also still got the lead.
So Fleetwood, Matsuyama, and Rory have yet to tee off, as does Phil. So
you got some time.
I mean, Cantlay's got to make a move. He's this afternoon.
Yeah, I need him not to get cut.
Wet the bed.
Get got. All right.
God, I'm over Sepp.
Yeah, you might need to move on. That might be a toxic relationship.
I'm not committed like I am with Colin. It's fine.
Speaking of committed, let's get to our guy, Matt Vrzal, former Husker owner of Pisons. What's up, Verz?
Not much, boys. How we doing?
I'm good, man. Awful subdued today. Nothing too crass. We doing all right?
Well, number 1, what's up, fuckers? Number 2, I forgot to turn on my thing. So as you were asking me a question, I wasn't sure if my roadcaster was going to pick up my voice. So I was like, oh my God. Now I'm going to, this is screwed up.
That bad boy's working.
Okay, great.
Are you paying attention to the
yes.
Absolutely not. Are you paying attention to the Open?
Yeah, we got a bunch of golf degenerates that work for me. So we have all the TVs. Well, not all the TVs, but we have their TV by the kitchen and the dining area TVs on the Open. It's brutal.
As a guy, so I called you the other day. I was like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" You're like, "Oh, man, I'm hitting golf balls in your house," which you've described to us, which is hilarious. But as a guy that likes to golf, do you enjoy when professionals struggle?
I don't know if I would term that if I'm watching professionals struggle. I'm watching professionals reach a level of frustration that the normal golfer reaches, and then how they deal with it. Right? Like their talent level, crazy. I don't mind thick or rough for professional guys because you're a pro. Like I get it, you want to bomb the ball 400 yards, but there's got to be a part of you that says if I can just keep this in the fairway, and then I can maybe not score, but if I just change how I'm used to playing, I have to adapt. It's like other sports. Like if you plan for an even front defense and they come out in an odd front, you got to make adjustments. So
that would be one of the more legendary press conferences ever.
Or maybe you don't make any adjustments.
Right.
You just kind of live with it.
Right. Like, but bombing my driver uncontrollably, like maybe I had an iron off the box, so I stay on the short stuff and I stay away from the crazy thick stuff. And maybe since I've seen guys putting the ball from 120 yards, maybe I just land that low and short and let it just roll up. Like I like to see the creativity they have in their games. So that's always kind of intriguing.
I got to give Bryson some credit because he had to adjust a little bit mid-round, right? And he only knows how to play one way, man. But for him to finish at +3, I thought was pretty encouraging. How
are you gonna get little Gooch on the show?
Yeah, he was impressive, wasn't he?
Buddy, I want to hear about that practice round. Like that had to be, and his, when you have a professional parent, it's different, but like a novice parent would just, I've been freaking out. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that kid, he's a grinder, man.
At one point, he was on the leaderboard, not the leaderboard page, but he was on the front page on the scroll. And I wanted to screenshot it because I think he was 5 over at the time. And but then I didn't get it quick enough and go back and get it. I'm like, I know his personality. He's not going to be happy that he's on the leaderboard. He's mad because he's not taming the course. So I didn't. I mean, he revs pretty high.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it is. Cool. It is cool. Who's your golfer?
I don't have one. I just watch golf. Like I try to take, like, you just watch it and like, oh, that guy does this and this guy does that. So like all those things you guys do where you pick your golfers, I would be terrible at that because I don't watch it thoroughly enough to know who's good. But I just like golf. Like me and you played sports, like we're team guys, and it's one of the few times where, like, if I go out and attempt to compete at golf, that's just me.
Yeah.
Which is foreign to me, but it's outside of my comfort zone. I'm like, and we played me and Billy LaFleur and Corey Simpson and Dooch. We all played in a scramble together, and we're doing good. We're playing great. And I get up to the ball, and I had not had a very good shot the shot before on the scramble. And so I get up and I'm like, all right, you fat fuck. I'm like, hit the fucking ball straight, hit it toward the fucking green. Like, I say this out loud. And so I get up and I shank it. And Corey Simpson goes, wow, self-talk like that. I don't know how that didn't work. Like, I don't know how that didn't go well.
As if he doesn't know you either. Right?
Like, this is just how I talk to myself. I was like, I can't help it. It's what I do.
Just deprecating and pissed at the same time.
Oh, just livid. Like, just pissed. I mean, and then LaFleur, well, Corey gets up and threw a good one.
Is LaFleur still great?
Oh, dude.
He's silly.
The legend. Like, that guy played football at Nebraska. And then in senior year, he went out for the golf team. Okay. So he goes out there in Doc Martin sandals and he plays around. And I think he shot 2 under. The story's probably exaggerated, but he shoots 2 under. The golf coach tells him, yeah, that's a good round. We just don't think you take it seriously enough. And Bill's like, yeah, I just shot 2 under and beat your best guy. But if you don't want me on your team, I guess that's fine. And he just left. Just rolls down some Doc Martin sandals and shoots 2 under. And just waves like, hey, later.
And he's like that too, because he's highly, highly competitive.
His hand-eye is crazy. Like, it is nuts.
Remember the things he could do with a ball, like a football?
It was good. Well, I mean, think about Bill LaFleur sans ACL injuries.
Yeah.
Because he's got a zipper, but that guy's a freak. Like, could dunk.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah.
He was well liked too for a guy that revved pretty high.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's kind of a red butt. At least he was. What's wrong with that?
So you'll say cocksucker, but you won't say ass.
Sometimes,
or do you change that? You should probably change that to chicken sucker.
So
you're a chicken sucker.
Here's the thing: the compound term of using ass does not fit my lexicon. So I won't. Yeah, that's like I kind of seem like that's the same as like saying butthole. Like I won't say that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's the compound. Like I would just say ass by itself.
Yeah, that's the thing that.
But
I
won't.
You will say.
I won't like compound word it. I don't think.
Rob, did you do your own laundry today?
What do you mean?
That shirt's got schmeedy me.
Oh no, it's just crawling up the sleeve there a little bit.
Hey, so I made
shrunk that bad boy.
I made the mistake of talking to VJ the last 2 days.
Okay.
Wow. So
how'd that go?
About how you think. Yeah.
Where'd you run into VJ at?
We were just on the phone because he asked me if he should get Achilles surgery or not. And I walked him through yesterday or 2 days ago.
Whoa. Has he ruptured said Achilles?
You know, with him, you never know if it's like ruptured, is it a partial? I tore my Achilles. And so
that was good.
So, I was just kind of walking him through like why he should get surgery. And there was this awkward pause. And he was like, man, F you. And he said it's serious. And I was like, why? And he goes, everybody telling me to get surgery. Why doesn't anybody say anything I want to hear? And then he was just mad. He went into like this profanity-laced tirade for, I don't know what, probably 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was a while.
Well, had he been running or what is he doing to rupture his Achilles? And you listen, I don't think that one's in doubt. Like, I think if you've ruptured that.
Yeah.
I think it rolls up into your calf and then you just can't walk and your foot sits like this.
Yeah, he's
like
been on, man. He didn't. So I asked him yesterday, because he called in the afternoon, and I said, "Aren't you supposed to be in surgery?" And he's like, they scheduled that without checking with me first. I was like, they scheduled the surgery time, and he had some. What are we talking about here, Verz? So he just didn't go.
That's always good. That gets you back in so fast when you're scheduled for surgery. You just no show.
Yeah, he just no called, no showed, and his answer was, and I quote. They scheduled without running that by me first, right? I'm like, yeah, that's. A lot of times with surgery, and they got to get you in. A lot of times, you got to kind of fit their schedule.
They just kind of tell you, will be here now.
No, he wasn't doing that. So apparently, he's not doing the surgery.
All right. So BJ's foot sits like this now.
Anyway, hey,
how's Zobear hitting?
Oh, she's turning into Buddy Wackett. She's pretty legit. She did not. She was tagged out after being in the dugout last night for not touching home plate.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She claims she did though.
She said listen. I'm kind of down a ways along the fence, but she scored and everybody's cheering and they took the lead and it was probably a good full 60 seconds later, where one of the and the ump didn't say anything. One of the parents said something to the ump, and then the coaches were like, tag her. Oh, I know. So, okay, but you've been proud of me. I didn't say one word.
What age is Zobear?
Man, listen, you get it. It's like K through third, maybe, or she's the youngest.
What is that, like 8?
Yeah,
7?
she just turned 7 Tuesday. Yeah. I won't even tell you about their coach because it's gonna gas your fire, but yeah. Yeah. So they go back they go back towards when she's in the dugout. She's gonna come back out and touch it, and they tagged her out.
What if she just would have run through the dugout and then back out on the field and touch home plate? Is that out of the baseline?
Oh.
Okay. I'm proud of you though. You don't sit with the dumbasses in the stands. You sit out on the side.
Well, I'm not going to refer to anybody as that, but I'm usually, if Micah goes with me, he and I just kind of stand along the fence. But I'm not a sitter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I just stand. I watch.
Am I crazy to be like, hey, with 7 and 8 year olds, like maybe we're not appealing stuff, like maybe we're cool.
So that's what a couple of the parents probably had the biggest problem with.
Like I don't know. Like maybe I don't have kids, so I don't know.
Well, there's a point in time where the play ends, though. She's in the dugout.
Which is why in the World Series it was not reviewable.
Like once you get the dugout, that thing's a wrap, right?
Which is what one of the moms calmly tried to tell the coach, and he basically was like, Sierra en la boca, por favor. Cállate. Yeah.
Sierra.
Although he actually said it, and I'm like, you can't even say that in our house. Why would
he said Sierra la boca?
No, he said shut up. Yeah,
okay.
He did, but not in Spanish. He said, he's like, shut up.
I was like, I like your coach already.
And I'm like, we don't even say that in our own house. Like, how are you gonna say that to a stranger?
Yeah, in front of kids
and a lady at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple things. Number one, I don't mind the lesson learned because Zobair now every time she touches home plate, I have zero doubt she is going to stomp on that thing.
She said she touched it too. She's like,
I
yeah,
know.
touched it.
She is gonna emphatically stomp on that thing. Okay. When you then, as a fan, man, woman, or child, you want to come approach the coach and tell them how to do their job, I do not mind what was said back to said female. Because if you are so into this game and you are so emphatic about it, guess what? I got an extra clipboard. I got an extra whistle. How about you walk your happy ass out here and coach? Because you obviously don't think I know what I am doing. So hop out. We got more than time for volunteers. Because guess who ain't getting paid to be here? Me. And guess who doesn't need your shit, lady? Me.
Wow.
You got all the answers. Everybody's got all the answers sitting in the stands. Waddle your happy ass out there and coach. Then you can fix it before it happens because you are so smart.
You know what's funny is at least you're
I'm right.
Consistent. Because remember, like there's been a handful of times where I'll watch you say something to a customer, basically take it or leave it. Or remember the one guy you told him you don't have time to list the products. He's been there enough times. Like, get to your order.
Well, you're kind of getting out of context, but I know what you're saying. Because before he was doing the stall thing with his order, I was like, hey, bud, you've been here. You know what we got? I was like, this thing just filled in like 30 seconds. So I got to be about 18 other places. So if we want to branch out, and he's a buddy of mine, I know him. And he laughed about it later. So yes, you got to keep things in context.
Well,
I'm not just undressing.
Listen. Now there have been strangers though that you've asked to leave the establishment over not, I mean, you're not afraid to tell parents how they should act.
But okay, so at the end of the day, everything in there, every bill in there, every responsibility in there, every liability on there is mine. So if you want to come in and act crazy and disrespectful, then yeah, I'm not gonna put up with that. Especially like when your attitude, like our service will reflect your attitude. Like I just banned 4 kids that played soccer at a school near Paisans because they decided
you're out here banning people.
No. Here, I'll tell you why. Because funny guys thought they needed to bring in a can of Bud Light. Guess who doesn't sell cans?
Yeah.
And so the staff, I'll be honest, the staff saved them because they went over and like, hey, we're wrapping this thing up. You guys need to pay and get out of here. Because if he, meaning me, comes over here and sees this is not going to go well. So we made some calls. We got some phone numbers. We called the gentleman and said, do not come back. You are no longer welcome.
And again, you are consistent because sometimes I will text and say, is it okay if I bring in my Yeti? Right? Because I have to know who's in there and I don't want to set precedent. And
yeah, you come in on scut lunches, you can bring that in. Yeah. But
because no one's in there.
And I don't know why Nebraska people get so fired up about this. We had a very nice lady in from Las Vegas. They're in from the Slump Buster. She had her water bottle. I said, ma'am, I have a huge favor to ask you. I said, right on the door, it says we don't allow any outside food or drink. I said, but if it's okay with you, I'm just going to set your tumbler behind the bar. When you go, I'll refill it with ice water. And away you go. She goes, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. That is so nice of you. She's like, yes, that would be great. It ain't that hard. Your structured spring water from the Icelandic Nords that you bring, it ain't, guess what the pizza's made out of? Omaha water. Like, what are we doing?
Again, consistency at its finest.
Yeah.
Hey, have you had a chance to watch any of the Waterman kid?
From where?
Chandler.
No, I have, but I tell you who I did meet.
Who's that?
It's pronounced Amir, right? Amir Hill.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm at the Shrine Bowl.
You're like, oh, you're the one who chopped up my buddy's team.
I'm at the Shrine Bowl. I did not say that to him. I'm at the Shrine Bowl watching Cashman do his thing.
Yeah.
Watching, but I'm watching the game, and my Scott guys are there, love them to death. But I'm like, man, here is probably one of the best receivers in the state, and the quarterback and other receiver they just got chemistry, like they know how to play with each other.
Oh shoot! I want to hear this.
Okay, so I'm watching him. Are we out? Are we in?
No, we're back. We're back.
Okay, so I'm watching him, and I'm like, man, I hate to say this, but he's probably going to freak out, and it's justified because he's not getting the ball. He should get the ball. He is lightning in a bottle waiting to happen. Okay, doesn't get it. He's awesome through the whole game. Awesome. Teammate, high five and good catch. We scored. Awesome. So the family goes to Pepper Jack's after the game, and we're sitting there. And he comes in. I got my Iowa Western shirt because I'm repping my guy Cashman where he's going to go to school. He's in line. He says, excuse me, sir. He said, do you know somebody at Iowa Western? I said, I don't, but my nephew is going to play there. And he goes, what position? I said, linebacker. And he gets this big old smile. And he says, Cash. And I'm like, Cash is mine. Yep. I said, stood up, said, Matt Vrzal, nice to meet you. Amir Hill, nice to meet you. Introduced himself to the rest of the family.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, crazy. I was so impressed with him just as a young man that he did not get pissed in that game. He took advantage of the times he had the ball. He did great, but how polite he was, how respectful he was, how just a good human being.
He's really good too.
Man.
As you saw, you were on the call.
So yeah, I told him that. I was like, hey, I called your game. Awesome game. You're a hell of a player, but I wish you all the best. He's like, oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Like polite as all get out. But you know what I'm saying? Like I've been too programmed to see a receiver not get a ball and then throw a hissy fit. But he did not once. Not once in that game did he do it. And shout out to his family, to his support structure, whatever it is. You're doing
and he's one of those guys too that kind of gets overlooked in the recruiting process.
100%. 100%. I will be cheering for that kid as long as he plays football.
Oh man, I'll see if I can pass that along.
Coach Stroh got a good one though.
Yeah, he's tough.
I mean,
he's tough.
He's pretty good.
Now he may need to like torpedo his Pepper Jack's bowl and get like 3 or 4 times the meat because my guy is thin.
Yeah, he's thin.
But kind of worried about him going across the middle.
Yeah, he's slight. But
Maybe
you saw he's good at breaking like he's legit.
Oh, he's just a muscle too. I mean, just like lean, jacked.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
And to think, once upon a time, he wanted to come to Westside.
Oh, yeah. Can't win them all, buddy. Sometimes you lose recruiting battle. Instead of a Porsche, you should have got him a Lamborghini.
I was gonna say the NIL not work out or what happened?
Oh, that's what we're doing.
Hey, when are you gonna get one of those fancy graffiti stickers like Ravi's got?
I asked the other day. Apparently, our boss only likes Ravi.
Oh,
we could probably get you one.
I just asked about that.
Yeah, yesterday. I just got it.
Oh, nice backtracking.
That's what he does.
You better check into contracts, Damon. Do some research. You might be getting screwed.
His sticker quota is not being met.
Starts at a sticker, then it's a car.
Hey, guess what? I kept the whiteboard clean today. How about that?
You did. I didn't really taunt you into anything. I was so happy about the Hill kid. I was just
talk me into being a
Look
jerk.
at that. Everybody.
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
I get I lead you down. I do lead you down the path sometimes, intentionally.
Verse, appreciate it as always. Have a good weekend.
See you, fuckers.
See you, buddy.
That's the show for the week. That's DB. I'm Ravi. We'll be back on Monday.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.